And we are back. This is Dark Side of the Kingdom. This is a video game podcast about game culture. People play video games. Stuttering off the top.
All right.
This is Dean.
And this
Rough
is
start.
Percy. And we have two guests with us today. We have
Ian
and
Mike.
There you go.
What's up?
Excellent.
What's up? What's going on?
Awkward silence aside. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks, man.
Thank you very much.
Dark Side of the Kingdom. This is the 4th episode. This is the Xbox Extravaganza episode. We will be talking about the recently Xbox Live event that just happened.
Sweet.
This morning, this podcast is going live Wednesday night.
I hope.
Hopefully. Thursday, for sure. Wednesday night, for sure. Gentlemen, we are part of thedrainage.net. That's kind of our home base, a pop culture website.
Ooh, I heard those guys are the best guys.
Wow, word's spreading, and they are, in fact, the best. Mike, glad you could...
Oh, it's like
tell us.
everywhere I go,
Yeah.
it's like, hey, you hear about the drainage? I'm like, oh, you guys talking about drainage? They're like, yo, don't talk to me.
leading pop culture news. I don't know. Percy?
Just go read stuff. It's awesome.
Yes. Format of the show, everybody, we start off with kind of like a what you been playing, a intro into us, our personalities. Guests in the studio this week, we'll throw it to you guys.
Please, whoever wants to go first.
Mr. Mike?
I recently played Metro Last Light.
Ooh.
Gotta be completely honest, I don't know. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. It is a well-made game. It looks good. It sounds good.
Looks beautiful.
Plays well. I'm just bored to fucking death playing it. Can I say fuck?
Yeah, fuck is okay.
Oh, fuck. I'm bored to death playing
At
it.
first, we were playing around with an allotted fucks, but it was just too much to keep track of.
I won't go over the hill.
European
It's just not-
developed game. It has like that.
Yes.
Yeah, so it kind of has a certain style with the European games.
Well,
right?
I was a fan of the first one. It was janky, but it was good.
Okay.
Like I was okay with the jank because it was interesting.
Janky but good.
Nothing
Okay.
wrong with
And
it.
this one kind of seems like, okay, now it's got the budget to look and play as well as the ideas are. I don't know. Something about it was just.
But wasn't that like the development like crazy throughout that?
Oh yeah.
So, I mean,
But to be honest, I don't feel like that.
you don't
It's
think that
weird. I
affected
can't
anything?
quite put my finger on why I didn't like it. It was just one of those games where I was like, I'd play a couple hours, I'd go, now I'm gonna watch Netflix.
Was
And
it just
then-
slow? Like the story wasn't like
No.
kind of dragging, or just
No, it was interesting enough. It's just it was super normal. There was just nothing interesting about it.
First person shooter.
Yeah.
super normal?
Adventure heavy? Is there a lot of like action? More like just basically a lot of desolate areas, slow build ups.
It felt like a poor man's Singularity or Half-Life.
Interesting.
So like that type of thing. Like it's first person, but it's linear. It's atmospheric. It's not trying to be like a Halo or a Call of Duty.
Is it open world at all, or is it kind of?
There are sections that are open worldy, but it's more like hubs and stuff. Like
okay.
there's sections where it's like, hey, you can. What was it called? Shit. I'm spacing the name. It was the id game that looked super good.
Rage?
Yeah, Rage. It reminds me sort of like a more linear Rage.
Rage kind of came out, got a lot of hype, and then just went away really fast. So
Yeah,
I
it
was
was just
surprised.
Yeah.
like Rage looked good. It
looked
played
really good.
fine, but it was just like, why am I playing this game?
Ian might disagree with you.
It's just like a shining example that graphics.
Hug that mic, baby. Hug
Sorry
that
about
mic.
that.
Yeah.
It's a shining example that graphics don't make your game. Like,
Yeah.
That was just pure candy game. You're like, oh, this is so boring.
Did they go off in the deep end with the driving stuff? It seemed like it wasn't really concentrated.
Yeah,
Rage.
it was pointless. It was
Yeah.
like, hey, Borderlands did it, but our game's not open world. But we're gonna do it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It seemed like they try to do something different, than the average, because they're known for FPS, so it's
Yeah.
just, something a little offbeat to them, but it just didn't work in their favor at all.
Yeah, it's just
So
like, I want to drive through this big empty world.
Now,
Nope,
Not
no,
that-
I don't. Never mind. Send us back.
Well, not even the combat seemed fun to me, really. Like, when you're battling other.
That's true. I just
What was
like the idea of those boomerang things, but they fucking suck.
are we talking about Rage or Metro right now?
Oh, now Rage.
Oh, sorry. I was like,
Rage
Yeah, I was-
cast. Doing the Rage cast.
I had a point of Metro, but no. Yeah, Rage. Meh.
Well, and that's what I feel about Metro.
yeah.
Like, I don't think it's a bad game. I wouldn't tell you not to play it, but
It looks
I was not
fucking-
compelled to play it after playing it. I gave it about 4.5 hours.
Okay.
And it gets moving fast enough where normally I'd say, yes, you should give it a little more than that. But it moves fast enough where I kind of felt like if it was going to change my mind, well, my mind wasn't going to get changed. It was a chore in my head to go, I'm going to go play that some more. I was just like, I don't really want to. And so I was just like, I'm gonna go play Star Ocean 2, and so I've been playing a lot of Star Ocean 2 for the PlayStation 1.
Nice.
That's
Taking
what
it way
I've been
back.
doing instead. Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Well, that's kind of.
When I don't have games to play, I play old RPGs.
Nothing wrong with that. If someone was a fan of the first one, would you recommend them get it? Or
Honestly, well,
If they-
I was a
you
fan of the first
yeah,
one.
exactly. So that's what
Maybe
I
hated it.
feel like I'm probably the minority. I can't imagine that other people are going, especially if you like the first one, are going to go into this game and be bored. I think it was just a weird thing where it wasn't clicking with me, and I can't
All right,
explain
now-
why, but it just
And
wasn't.
what platform did you play on? I don't think you.
I play on PS3.
Okay.
It
And
it
is
ran
it-
fine. It looked fine.
Is it like a
played
PC
well.
style game? Do you think that's why the translation? Because sometimes I know
I
like
mean, even
PC.
the first one I played on
Yeah.
on a console.
Okay.
How many hours did you play?
The first one?
No, this one.
Oh, about 4.5.
Maybe give it just a little bit longer.
thought
to
so.
get over it.
Normally
That's a
I
good litmus
would.
test. 4 hours.
Normally I would. I usually try to play 5 or 6 hours before I give up on it. But the way it's paced, it's real quick.
Yeah.
It gave me a lot of like what the game is about, and I was just like, I don't know. Like if I worked for a website, I'd go, you know what, I should give it more time. But I was like, I'm just some guy. I'm done. I'm bored.
Yeah. Is there a default in time you give a game before you just boot it aside, or? Because generally you should know right away. If you're, yeah.
Well, sometimes I just have trouble with games where they just don't click right away. Like I was playing Far Cry 3, and in the beginning I really disliked that game. Like I really hated it. But then I just hit a point where I'm like, okay, I get it now. I totally understand what you want me to do, why you want me to do it, and I get really deep into it. But that first couple hours, I'm like, I kind of want to not play this game.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I
that-
can understand that. Actually.
It's weird that you mentioned Far Cry 3 because a lot of the stuff that in this game that it wants you to do is Far Cry 3 stuff, and in a world where I played Far Cry 3, I was like, oh god, they handled this poorly. Like you're crouching and sneaking and getting guys from behind. I'm like, oh, why? I should just go play Far Cry 3.
Yeah. I didn't play Far Cry 3. Loved 2. Loved Blood Dragon. And I don't know, in Blood Dragon I got kind of repetitive, the sneaking around stuff. Is that like a major mechanic?
Did you
in-
beat that?
It depends.
I didn't beat it yet.
Okay.
It's a short experience.
Sorry.
I'm close though.
It depends like how you want to play Far Cry 3. I snuck through the entire game.
Okay.
It was sad. The way that it worked was satisfying. I like when games can do stealth right. And but yeah, it's funny you use that as an example, just because a lot of the stuff in this game feels like the linear parts of Far Cry 3, and it just isn't handled as well. It's not handled badly. It's just that's kind of the problem with this game is every time I did something I was like, oh well, I'd rather play Resistance 3. This game reminds me of Resistance 3, but Resistance 3 is better. This game reminds me of Singularity, but Singularity's better.
From that outside looking in, there's nothing like screams out to me that like this is Metro. It seems kind of like generic, kind of like post-apocalyptic. There's nothing really that like
Sort of. It's
like what's their like.
It's
their
fleshed
niche?
out better than the first one. It's just
Yeah.
like, I mean, it's fucked up. We got nuked Russia, which is interesting because it's a setting that's not done a million, unless you played like the Stalker games or something. But
Made by the same people.
yeah,
Some of the same people.
Yeah, some of the like ex dudes.
Same lineage.
So
Cool.
they even have a couple references to Stalkers.
That's cool.
I don't know if that's just generic or if that's the fiction, but they do that a couple times. But I don't know. I wouldn't say don't play it, especially if you're a fan of the first one. I truly like. Sometimes when you play a game, this may be blasphemy. I hated Mass Effect 1. I hate that game. I don't like it at all. I like Mass Effect 2 and 3. I adore the series, but I don't like 1 at all. But I don't
kinda
think
makes
I don't think
sense.
I'm right. I know that I'm wrong. I know
kinda-
I'm wrong for not liking that game.
You are wrong for not liking that game, but it is a totally different beast from 2 and 3. It seems like they kind of gave it that the mass media brush. For
Well,
2
and
and 3,
I got that
but-
feeling from this game. I feel like I'm probably wrong for not liking it.
So, safe to say that Joe Call of Duty is probably not going to play Metro and enjoy it.
Probably not. No, not at all.
Is it worth a RedBox, or is it
Whoa!
worth like a wait on sale, or should people just go
Well,
out and
yeah,
buy
no.
it?
I mean, if you
feel,
have a GameFly or a RedBox,
I feel like you shot me a look there, Percy. when you
Oh, I
dropped
did.
it.
Wait,
You feel
is Redbox looked down upon in this?
Apparently so. Apparently we can't rent games.
What
now.
about GameFly? Do you?
No.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm
Wow.
a giant GameFly game. Almost every game I play, that's how I mean, I don't make a lot of money.
Neither do
So,
I.
I'm Joe GameFly over here.
No. Hey,
But I'd say
Yeah,
yes,
Joe
definitely
GameFly.
worth
I
GameFly.
believe.
You got
Whatever-
Dean Redbox,
Yeah.
so it's all good.
People are like, I
Yeah,
thought he was
the-
Mike. He's Joe. Joe GameFly.
Yeah,
remember
that
him.
No, that's me. It's Mike.
Percy Day 1 DLC guy. Full circle, man. Ian, brother man.
I've been playing 2 games. I do a lot of Steam games, but one of the game I'm currently playing is Trine 2. Have you guys played Trine, the first one?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
First one's it's a little janky, but it's lots of fun. And the second one, it's super polished, amazing lighting effects.
Yeah.
But if you play, I played it on co-op. I'm a big fan of co-op games. If you play co-op, you can game it the system, like most of the puzzles, you can be like,
Yeah,
well,
you can.
You're supposed to do this, or someone. How it works is there's 3 characters. You got a wizard who can lift stuff up, like Assassin's Creed type lady, and a knight who fights. But you can build stuff with the wizard and then drag it around and just have your Assassin's Creed lady just stand on top of it.
Yeah.
And
Does
The
Assassin's
wizard's like
Creed...
the only important guy.
yeah,
You
you could just get. Oh my god, it's ridiculous. They're like, they cleverly designed this puzzle, and then 2 seconds you're like, well, I can break it right now and just get that and get this over with. Okay, let's.
I'm just gonna make a box and then float her up there. All right, cool.
As is most puzzle games.
It's still very rewarding though, and the game's just breathtaking. I didn't
It's
get
a
to beat
pretty
it.
game, yeah.
I got
Visually
to
awesome.
I got to the leader of the game, and I had to take a break just because I played like 6 hours straight, nonstop.
It's crammed full of shit. Sometimes you
Yeah.
can be looking and you're like, wait, what's the foreground? What's the background? What can I touch? It's really, really dense.
And how the level up system works is you have to collect these orbs, and we went out of our way to get a whole bunch of them, and we got through most of the tech tree, and then we're at the boss, and there's still a lot of points we have to get. And we're like, we've been looking like crazy, so I don't know where they're hidden these things. So we have to go through it again and try to find the other ones. But then I was also finishing up Mark of the Ninja. I don't know if you guys have played that yet.
Yes.
It's an older game. It came out last year. It's
It's
an
made by
Xbox.
Clay, the
Yes,
dudes
Clay
that did
Entertainment's
Shank and Shank 2.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And Don't Starve. is the
Awesome
new one.
games.
Mark of the Ninja is one of the best stealth games made in the last 5-10 years easily.
It's
It's
pretty
all hand
smart.
drawn. If you don't have Xbox, it's now available on Steam. Highly recommend it. It's a stealth game that doesn't punish you for messing up like classic Metal Gear, like where you have to start over, or Tenchu, where say you're doing the mission and someone sees you, you're like, well, I gotta redo that. And nobody likes
I'm
that
dead.
concept. So what they do to alleviate that problem is they make it very visual. There's obvious cones of sight. Every time you make a noise, it makes a visual representation of you in a circle to tell you how far away that's getting from you. And the more you do like certain things, you unlock abilities and different outfits that give you certain attributes to your character. For example, like one of them's a stealth outfit that lets you run the entire. Like if you run, you make no noise, but you can't. You don't have a sword anymore, so you can't stealth kill anybody. So you have to sneak your whole way through it. So it's really challenging, and you can play it the way you want. If you want to go balls out, just stab people to death, which is awesome, or you can just. I enjoy playing the entire game without killing anyone, just sneaking by everybody.
That's what I did. I used a suit with
Yeah.
no weapon. I was like, I'm not going to be using it anyway.
It's so. And the other ones are cool, but they're just. It's just the challenge is so much better, and you get scored like arcade style high score, and you get unlocks for doing it. And if you just make it through stealth way, no matter what, you'll unlock everything because you'll hit the high scores because you get so much more points for not killing people.
God damn.
It's the visual feedback. It's really, really unique.
Oh, yeah.
If
Yeah.
you watch
Super
one video, you'll see there's
Now-
a lot of shit going on. It's really cool.
Like
the way
Shank
you see
2
the
was
way
like
they
a
do that.
2D hand-drawn art
It's
style,
hand-drawn like
same
that.
thing.
Looks
It's
just
side
like
scrolled.
that.
Okay,
It looks.
sweet.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Interesting. Generally, not a huge fan of stealth games. I mean, there's far and
That
few
might be a
between.
reason to try
Yeah.
this.
This is one definitely
Interesting.
worth trying just because it's so different and it's not punishing like the other ones.
Yeah, like aside from this, like what's your go-to stealth game? You think?
Stealth
or-
game. Oh,
Yeah, like-
PS2, Tenchu. I forget which one it was called, but I can grandmaster like 5 levels in that in a row. That means killing everyone and never getting seen. I used to play
Yeah.
that like crazy. But if you go back to that first game, which came out even before the original Metal Gear, so it's like one of the first stealth games. The game is broken, like you would not believe.
Metal Gear.
But it's fun. No, Tenchu, the
first
first game.
Tenchu.
Okay, okay.
But it's fun, and you're so I really can't go back to PlayStation games because they're just awful looking.
It's
to
yeah,
me.
it's hard to. The controls are hard.
Nostalgia
Yeah,
isn't as
And
nice as
I'm
a.
not sure
No.
it had even the analog at that point. So
Yeah, it didn't require you to have a analog sticks, and it didn't require you to have the button presses for
Yeah.
the analog sticks, and so the controls are pretty weird.
it's not as bad as like classic Tomb Raider, like
Ugh,
those awful
Jesus.
controls.
Yeah.
But
Nah.
that game, no.
Or like Resident Evil, kind of like tanked controls and the
Like
earlier
just
ones.
ugly. Yeah, you're like, oh wow, games used to be like this. What were they thinking? I like Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow. I'll be completely honest, it's not because of the campaign.
Yeah.
I like the multiplayer. The Spies versus Mercs is probably one of the coolest multiplayers that's ever existed.
Very decisive, especially for that one. Did they like continue it on, or it kind of ended
No,
with two? Or-
they've tried to bring it back sort of, but it's never been the same. The whole
Yeah.
first person versus third person spies versus guys with guns, like it's such a cool idea, and it worked perfectly in Pandora Tomorrow, and they kind of butchered it ever
unique
since.
multiplayer experience.
It's like the Alien vs Predator games.
Yeah,
where,
yeah. The
same
whole like
perspective stuff.
Yeah.
but everyone operates like completely differently.
Yeah. keeping, I guess, stealth, keeping old block controls. Something I tried playing. Nothing new this week, so I kind of downloaded a demo, basically.
Nice, dude. Nice.
Right, right. Fuck renting. We're just playing. We're doing demos now.
Perfect.
No. I've tried to convince myself several times to play this game and like it. Metal Gear Solid 3DS. Did you guys like it? Do you guys opinions?
Oh, was it? Well,
I fucking hate it. I don't know.
Isn't it?
Snake Eater is my least favorite Metal Gear ever made, so I don't blame you at all.
It seems like a trend. I went PS late, so it seems like every couple years I try to like replay Metal Gear Solid and try to trick myself into liking it. The 3DS game specifically, so frustrating. It just I don't know. Cause
You're not wrong, dude. I
the controls
love
are fucking broken.
Metal Gear, like I love.
I
Metal
want
Gear,
to love
I
it.
think 3 is awful. 3 is
So
I think 3 is my least favorite entry. Just I mean, they go back to the Cold War, so it's just the mechanics. I hate eating. I hate the way the radar
snake
works.
stuff,
I hate the way the
Eating.
camera works. I
Blasphemy.
hate getting bitten and then poisoned and then fixing my
What?
injuries.
Getting eaten.
Take
Yeah,
it.
ugh.
Take the
I
bait.
like doing that though. I thought it was
the
kind
bait.
of cool. I thought it was a cool.
I know,
I
and I
Part of the
understand
game.
that people love that.
I couldn't even get that. I couldn't even get that far because the controls are broken. I don't know if it's a 3DS. 'Cause
Yeah, I couldn't imagine playing a 3DS at all.
Did you
Yeah,
play
not
the
with
original
controls.
or not the original?
I got PS2 late, so I got the Snake Eater later version where it had like the refined controls.
And the new camera angle.
The new
Yeah.
camera.
That was a lot easier.
Because you used to have to
play.
walk a couple of meters and then
Yeah.
first person mode. Okay,
Oh,
no
yeah.
one's there. Walk a couple. First person.
Does
that
Okay,
mean-
no one's there.
And then going to Xbox, I mean, playing Splinter Cell, like fuck, Splinter Cell Conviction specifically, fuck, awesome, beautiful games. And then just going back and jumping into like Metal Gear, like I want to love it so bad, the iconic sound.
It's a very different type of
music.
stealth. So
It's-
I can
yeah.
see where,
Yeah.
like, if you're
So I was
raised
curious.
on something else, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Again, 3 especially, you're not. God, I fucking
Interesting.
hate that game.
What-
Really?
Is that compatible with that weird extra?
I guess
joystick.
it would
thing
help.
they were selling out?
I'm assuming it would help.
Yeah,
because
I didn't even think about
They
that.
don't
That'd be
even
weird
have
with
that?
only one
Yeah,
stick.
I know.
I don't.
I can't imagine. Like, it's already bulky enough, and then you're gonna have this.
Well, and doesn't it make the battery life a little worse, which is already pretty bad?
I thought it
I
made it
think-
better.
Well, it does, but like, doesn't that like it still doesn't like feed off itself completely?
Yeah. I don't know.
But if you guys, they made one for the 3DS XL.
That thing's
It's
big as- it's like a
fucking-
net.
I
It
didn't
looks
know
like a
they did
Game
that.
Gear or the Links. You're like,
No, you're carrying around your Nomad.
Yeah,
Nomad,
exactly.
yeah.
I'm playing Sonic and Knuckles.
Totally portable.
fucking horrible.
Especially the XL.
Defeats the
man.
purpose of fucking portable. Yeah.
Everyone
XL's
I knew
fucking
had a
beast.
Nomad. Always had to plug it into the wall. It's like real portable.
Wow, you actually knew people that had a Nomad. I never got that close.
No one, when I had a
Really?
Nomad, no one was like, "What's that?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Well, it's about 2.5 hours worth of battery life." But
I did have the Game Gear, so I could relate.
I liked being
Awful.
dude who put Sonic and Knuckles in, flipping it up, putting Sonic 3 in, and then taking those and putting them on a Game Genie, and then sitting there like, look how cool I am with my giant weird thing. And then the older I got, I was like, what was I thinking?
I was kind of a Sega guy. I definitely lusted after the Nomad a little bit. Just
It
seemed
was-
cool. There was
Yeah,
a novelty.
definitely.
On,
novelty
paper, on
factor.
paper, it's super cool.
Yeah. Did you get it like when it came out? It was a little bit after the fact.
I was a little ass kid. I was in 5th grade, so I don't know how important. I mean, I remember I had it for a year, and I was like, "Oh, I can plug controllers into the bottom of this. This is cool." Like I didn't realize it's essentially a Genesis that you can carry around. Like if you wanted to, you could plug it into a wall and plug controllers into it.
Well, how much was that fucking thing?
Oh my god,
was a system.
I was young enough where
Back
my
then,
parents
it-
didn't tell me, but it must have been a
Yeah,
fucking
it was-
lot.
Like, you better fucking like this thing.
this game, we're gonna take it alone.
It took 6 AA batteries.
Oh,
It had
Jesus.
like 2.5 hours battery life.
Yeah.
That thing was like just a mess. That thing was a real mess.
I'm so glad those batteries are gone for portables.
Oh my God.
Like, could you imagine now? Jesus Christ.
Or even AA's, man. I invested in rechargeable AA's.
Oh yeah,
I
well, you
haven't
had
bought
to.
batteries in years.
When you had a
Yeah.
Game Boy Pocket, if you didn't have rechargeable AA's, you're a fool. Your parents are bad at investing.
That shit.
Or raising you
You guys
and teaching you.
freeze the batteries. Did that work for anybody?
I tried that
Wild
once.
tangent, wild
Did
tangent.
not work.
My grandma did that a lot. Actually.
It's all about hope. It's all about hope. Kids. Hope that I don't know. Metal Gear Solid 3DS.
Don't try it.
Nah.
Nah.
Have
Nah.
you played 4 on the PS3?
I don't have on the PS3.
Yeah, it's on. Yeah, it's
No,
PS3.
I don't have a PS3.
I know it's weird because it's super weight heavy and it brings up pretty much every game ever. But if you don't care about like, I don't know who this guy is, I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
I think it plays the best out of all of them. It was really
Yeah.
was a really well made. It took the stuff from 3 that I wanted to like and it fixed it.
It never came out to 360, but I think
It's not gonna.
we figured out the secret to PS3 exclusivity, ladies and gentlemen.
Actually, you know
Hey,
what? Well,
giant.
hold on.
15.
Okay, go. I'm sorry. Well,
My dagger, bro. I had a nice
This little
dagger.
back and forth.
what is it? It might come out maybe later on
Hopefully.
because
No, it's not, dude. If it hasn't come out by now, it's not
hold
fucking
on.
coming out.
They
press
could
the
release
video.
it digitally.
What just happened? Well, what just happened today? What Xbox is they're gonna be at the
They've-
Xbox One? They're gonna be using what?
Blu-ray.
Exactly.
Hey, bro.
Well, they're not now. But they're
jump
not.
Come on!
it's not gonna happen.
Possible. I'm just saying. Just to jump ahead for a
But they
second.
can release it digitally.
I was shocked, though.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
Well,
the exclusive rights have got to be over by now.
But think about
And the
trying
only
to
reason they
download
didn't
that
do it is because
monster.
it'd be like 17 discs. Because
Exactly.
the Xbox
Yeah.
can't handle
Because
it.
Blu-ray is what 34. That's like a 30 gig download.
Yeah.
Without the
it's
HD.
fucking massive.
I don't know, man.
Hideo Kojima was like, let's fill this fucker.
The best part about the Metal Gears is when you get to the very end and then get told about how terrible America is
Yeah.
for a good 20-minute video. That's the best part. I'm like, I always look forward to Kojima being like, "You're terrible people. You killed so many
But
of
deep
us.
down,
Oh,
he
you're
loves
horrible."
us. He loves
You're like,
us.
Yeah.
I didn't do it. I'm buying this. I'm paying your goddamn
guilt.
paycheck to make other terrible games. Come on.
It does explain why I subconsciously hate myself every time after I play the demo. This is, some anti-American agenda.
Also, in 4, they totally made Raiden more, or kind of more badass.
More
than-
Made him the
Badass.
best
Yeah.
dude.
He was awesome in that game. He's such a I don't have a problem with him at all compared to most people. Like
Yeah, people seem to hate that
in
guy.
in 2,
I
I
don't
wasn't
mind him at
like
all.
when you're like, "Oh my god, you're not Snake." I'm like, I don't really care.
I thought it was a cool
I just
twist.
want to play the game, and then when you meet Snake and his name is Iroquois Pliskin,
Yeah.
which is the best name ever
Oh,
because
shit.
it's a direct
Yeah.
reference.
Yep.
And you're like, if you don't get this, you are too young. But whatever.
Yeah.
That is such a great moment.
Playing to the fans a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Is-
we're-
I don't know. PS3.
That's a good game.
I'll get it eventually. I think once the PS4 comes out, I'll probably pick up PS3.
nice,
Yeah.
dude.
That's how I operated.
And
Generation
then I'll
behind.
let you borrow all my old games.
Dude, that's the way you work, man.
There you go. You got it all figured
buy a
out,
couple.
don't you, Dean?
That's how it works, bro. We can do a trade system. I got some other stuff. We'll
Don't
work it
trade
out.
Stuff in, man.
We'll work it out.
You're gonna hate yourself.
Oh, no,
when
fuck
when you're
no.
older.
I think I did that one time. Never do it again.
I learned my lesson when Game
Yeah.
Crazy opened when I was in 7th grade. Only way to get new games.
Yeah.
I traded in. Oh God, I don't even want to think about the stuff I traded
that
in.
might
We've all
almost-
made that mistake.
Yeah.
That might be an episode
Yeah.
in itself, but fuck yeah. Instant guilt.
Thousands of
Right?
dollars worth of Super Nintendo
Oh.
games with boxes and
You know what's
manuals.
the
and
worst part?
I want a
Super
time
Nin-
machine and slap you back.
Dude,
Stop it!
you don't even want to know the stuff I traded
Yeah.
in.
I don't know what happened, but Super Nintendo games blown up right now. Like they're really like
Yeah, they're real popular games.
super popular. Nostalgia's kicking in, selling like hotcakes on eBay.
Yeah,
Like,
I know. Oh, that's what made me realize. Oh, yeah, Game Crazy. Maybe I shouldn't have given him that Mario RPG in the box. In the box. In the box.
I
for
figured you were gonna say that.
$22 store credit.
Wow, that was actually
Ooh.
generous. Fuck.
Yeah, because they knew they were
Criminals.
fucking me in the mouth. They're like, oh, a little kid deserves it.
One time,
Goddamn.
I didn't know I had it. I traded in a Black Label Symphony of the Night PS1 a couple years ago, especially like that was before the
A
digital
couple years
service.
ago.
So this was like before. This was when it was still premium, and the guy he didn't even like log it into the system. He's like, you know what? I'm just gonna fucking buy this right now. He just bought it. And I was,
Dude, when I worked at Game Crazy, that's all I did. People would come in, I'd go, oh, you know what? I'll give you cash for that, and I'd make out like a goddamn bandit.
yeah.
but you still give them better deals in the store, I'm
What
sure.
I do is my rule was I'd look at the store credit. If it was like pointless, I'd try and think of a fair number. But if they were given like, say it was like $12, I'd double it and I'd give them cash. So they're getting
At
two
least you're
times.
being nice about it.
Yeah, I mean, like I got because I know I'm not going to dick these kids over. Like,
Yeah.
I get that they
Thank
want
you.
something, but I also tell them I was always pretty fair. I was like, you know what, you can go on eBay and you can sell this. If you don't want to sell it, I will give you double what the credit's worth in cash right now. And usually the kids are like, yeah, I want something now.
You're one hell of an employee.
Seriously.
Hey,
must
so there's a reason that South Decatur Game Crazy was #1 in the district until our company got shut down.
GameStop strikes again. So yeah,
What do you
That's what you've been playing?
you've been playing
Demos.
a horrible demo for the 3DS.
unless you guys, I'm sure you guys don't want to hear about my trials and tribulations in the world of NBA 2K13. I have revisited that.
Hey,
Oh,
how's
yeah,
it going,
that's
man?
awesome. Yeah, go ahead.
That's the one with the horses, right?
Yes. Derby racing, horses, all that stuff. NBA 2K13 career mode. Got back into it. Finished my 82 game, my career mode.
Ooh.
Started off as a rookie. Got drafted 9th pick overall.
Who'd you get picked by?
The Detroit Pistons.
Okay.
Worked my way into the starting lineup around mid-season, and took my team to the final.
Is this really how you play this
He
game?
is confused.
Dude, yeah.
He's
I have
like,
no
hands
idea how
down,
to play
you gotta
this.
miss it.
I like listening to people
Dude.
talk to about it
Don't
because
worry,
it's
we'll-
like an
No, but,
RPG.
like,
It's
Dude,
really
hands
cool.
down, one of the best RPG experiences I've played in a long time. Like you literally start off like if you want to go.
Are you on the bench if you're not on the main
Yeah,
thing and you
absolutely.
literally just watch?
And you play, you're locked to one character, so you have to work your way into the lineup.
you
So,
just-
you'll get 3 minutes a game, 4 minutes a game. You have to make your time count.
damn.
Work your way in,
I just think
trading.
you'd have more fun by turning your Xbox off, watching basketball on TV, and be like,
I thought this was a friendly environment. We're here to support each other's habits.
Hey, man,
no,
I'm on board.
Come on.
I'm just blown away that that's actually how the game works. I mean, I understand the
Well,
concept,
Or you can
but
just grab a
you
basketball.
play video games to play games.
I'm sure you got one here
Dude,
somewhere.
It's a fantasy. You never had an aspirational fantasy. I am drafted by the Detroit Pistons.
The last time I played sports
I took my
games-
team to the finals, sir, and it was a fucking
Was it double dribble?
and it was a wonderful
No,
feeling.
I'd say Super Nintendo generation sports games like NHL 95, 96 are still amazing. You can play those today.
You guys can't appreciate the
But
RPG.
I think the
elements.
new ones are just like, oh, that looks really amazing. Just go watch basketball, asshole.
My problem is I'm not a simulation game guy, and honestly,
Yeah.
sports
Yeah,
games are basically like football games. They're
I'm
not
there with
football
you
games;
guys.
they're quarterback simulators, and that's essentially all they are. And I don't know that I don't want to play a farm simulator, a train simulator, or a football simulator. They're all the same thing to me.
Now, here we go. Let's start.
What about,
Let's slow
But
down.
you know, they all
Oh,
have
Well,
like.
I'll play Harvest Moon. or
yeah, I was going to say
something.
Harvest Moon. You can't say no to Harvest Moon. Oh my God.
That's the same thing with Dean. It's almost it's basically an RPG.
Come on. This
That's
is
my
a
defense now.
this is a friendly environment.
I'm just messing with you, Dean.
I'm there with you guys. Sports games, generally, I'm not a sports guy. Growing up
fuck outta
loving
here.
sports. Hey, I grew up loving sports. I'm a basketball guy.
There you go.
I loved, the NHL Live, NBA Live 95-ish stuff, Game Day. Once
NBA
Madden,
Jam?
yeah,
So
NBA
you're-
Jam, awesome.
I could
So
play
you're a
that.
sports
I could
guy?
play NBA Jam.
Bro,
How does that?
you said you liked these games too in previous episodes. EA Sports,
I
we're
like
talking
the
about.
old school.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm getting to
all
the
right. All right.
I checked back in a couple years ago. NBA 2K. It's not that big. It's not that bad of an investment. You can kind of dabble in, jump in. Whatever. Percy, what the fuck you been playing, man?
Wait, let's cut him for a second.
All right,
Do you remember the Mutant League games?
Music
Like,
football.
Yeah.
That's I love
oh
playing.
my God,
That
Mutant
game
League
is fucking
hockey.
awesome.
They
I
should
remember
redo that stuff. I would play those today.
I was a little kid and I was like, green blood? Oh my god, I can't let my mom see me playing this. There's green blood. Nothing. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so much fun. Like Music League football was my. I love playing
Yeah.
that game. I get my brother so pissed by fucking paying the refs off. He's so pissed.
Well, hopefully in
Hilarious.
NBA 2K14 they might do robots, so you guys might be able to partake.
Ooh, I like the sound of
You're
that.
getting us
Robot
back
mode.
in.
Need some
robot mode.
robots.
Check it out, ladies and gentlemen. NBA 2K, fun, fantastic series.
Okay. Yeah, I've been super busy last week, so I haven't really played. I did beat Guacamelee, and I did manage to beat V6 or V.
Oh,
Yeah, beat that.
Yeah.
Melee.
Okay.
Yeah, I beat those, and I also dabbled into Sleeping Dogs.
It's good to hear that you're
Ooh.
finishing games. I like that.
Yeah.
How far into Sleeping Dogs are you?
Not too far.
Are you
at
just
all.
PS Plusing?
Yes.
Everyone's playing that
But-
game all of a sudden because of PS Plus.
But if I do like the game, I will go buy it because I think I will. Because
Heads
so
up,
far,
one of my favorite games. Last
yeah,
year.
already
It's
just jumping into the game. I was
It's
just
such a smart open world game.
oh my god.
Okay, that is like that has like the
It's a
Tyler
Hong,
Stout style
Chinese?
poster.
it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
Hong Kong
Yeah,
that's it. It's Hong
undercover
Kong.
cop. It's got Batman Arkham Asylum's fighting system.
Ugh, the
It's
fighting.
got
the fighting's so good.
Saints Row's driving,
Yes.
and it's in an open world. So all the problems that you have with open world games, the bad driving, the bad combat, how ugly and boring they are, this game's really fun. It's a lot of fun.
Who developed it?
It's you know what? It got moved because it was
It was,
originally
it's
going to
like
be
all over the place.
It was gonna be true crime,
It was going to be
wasn't
the
it?
true crime
Yeah, yeah.
Hong Kong,
Yeah, another
and then
Snoop
it got
Dogg game.
Yeah, it got canned, and then Square Enix picked up the rights, and then I don't know which studio they had finish it up because it was basically done. It was almost done. They just had to go, okay, it's no longer a true crime game. Let's give people like a new coat of paint.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Those
it's
true crime
definitely
games
fun.
were they're definitely like lesser
Never,
than.
never played any.
The
But
first one was okay. The second one, I remember going into GameStop. I kind of got some older used games. I think I got that in a lot. It was just one of those True Crime New York. The most demeaning, derogatory look the guy gave me. He's like, "You fucking like the filth." I was like, "Fuck you, bro. Just ring it up."
It's not like
Just
you're
give me
buying
my
Def
used
Jam
games.
Vendetta or
I
something.
know, right?
Yeah, burn, take that.
Vendetta. No,
Take
that's
that, Sean Paul.
Icon was terrible. Vendetta.
Yeah, I thought
Was that
Vendetta
one
was
okay?
good. That was a good
Vendetta's
one. And
They had
then
like the THQ lineage of.
I liked Icon. No, wait.
really?
Wait,
Jeff,
I like the
look-
first one.
I think
Yeah,
you got 'em-
Vendetta. Yeah,
Vendetta's the first one, I
That's
think.
Vendetta.
Oh, okay. I like the second
Yeah.
one then because I didn't like Vendetta.
Really? Icon.
I like the second one.
I
because
think
you
there was
could-
2 for the last gen, and then there's and then the next gen, or now the the most recent gen, I guess you'll say gen.
I like the PS2 one. I
Okay,
don't remember
then-
if that was Vendetta
Okay,
or not.
that
Okay, well, Icon came out in the 360, and
That was terrible.
yeah,
Okay, then
everyone
yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
fuck,
"Ugh."
yeah.
So-
I did like Vendetta.
But yeah,
Ha!
Never mind. Okay, my joke doesn't make sense.
damn it. Awesome games. THQ lineage of fighting mechanics.
Perfect. Okay. Well, anyway, Sleeping Dogs, awesome. I advise everyone go play because it's fun. It's just like it's basically GTA, like you said before. And it's what's cool about it is it's not in America, so everything's cool to look at. It's obviously it's people talking about different things, and you don't understand what everyone's saying. So it's
Well, like in the beginning, it's all in a different language.
Yeah, exactly.
Subtitles for like. I think-
Yeah.
I was worried. I was like, wait, is this whole game like this? Did they make a weird decision? But like the first 15 minutes or so, no English at all. It's pretty interesting.
it was fun. I mean, I always put subtitles on my games just
Yeah.
because. But
Oh.
there was an option for Cantonese.
That reminds me. I know this is super far back, but if you do play Metro, you have the option to have the whole game in Russian. You should do Russian, but with English subtitles. It's pretty fucking cool.
Can
Adds
you
a
play
lot.
it-
Pretty cool.
Can you play it in German?
I don't.
I think that'd be way more fun.
They give you a big list
Download
of
German.
languages, but there's a lot of European languages. But if you actually do it in native Russian, they actually cared about the Russian voice actors. It's pretty
There's definitely something to be said for original tongue, just like the whole the nuances of the voice and the delivery of lines definitely helps, especially with
cool.
movies and
Well, it
stuff.
was an interesting thing about Sleeping Dogs is since it's you're playing as mostly Asian people, it's not the same 5 voice actors you've heard a million times.
Oop.
It kind of reminded me of Red Dead Redemption, where John Marsden, he's not a guy you've heard a million times. So when you hear him talking, I don't know, it feels like the character. It was the same thing with what was his name, Lee?
As a wage.
Yeah, Wayne. Yeah,
Wei Chen.
You haven't heard this guy's voice 1,000 times, and so you really get behind the character because you're not like going, "Oh, okay, that's Nolan North."
I was going to
I'm
say,
listening.
Nolan North was busy that week.
I'm listening to Nolan North talk.
Nolan North's Cantonese. It's all right.
That might still be hilarious.
That's
I would-
true.
I'd
Ironic.
play it.
That's Sleeping Dogs too.
Yeah. Awesome game.
But
man.
either way, yeah, Sleeping Dogs is awesome. I advise everyone go RedBox it or whatever. The fuck you wanna do. But seriously, if you're a PlayStation Plus member, download it immediately because it's really good. And Guacamelee, that game was fucking awesome. Like I said, it was a Metroidvania style game, and it just got better and better and better. And I'm gonna go back and play it
It
probably
was
over and
short,
over and
though,
over
wasn't
again.
it so short?
Well,
That's
he's
what
been-
bummed me out about
he's
that.
Well,
game.
He's been milking it
not
for like
I
3
feel like
weeks
searching
now.
for everything. So I mean,
Yeah, that's
I'm
true.
not a guy like that just goes, and goes through it. I like to.
I played
find
too many
everything,
games. I think
so.
I didn't savor it. I guess.
Yeah.
Really?
'Cause
Well,
it was
yeah.
just-
I just like I just embraced into the game. So I mean, I loved it. So, like I said, just I like to explore.
Right.
So
What was the price point on that again? Because it was like
It's $15.
15.
moderately priced.
That's kind of why
That's
I
top
was
tier
bummed.
downloadable though.
That's why I was bummed that it was short.
That's almost like 1999 put it on a disc type territory, maybe.
well, there's some DLC coming out for it. So.
Ooh.
What ending? What ending?
Let's
did
talk
you
about
get
that.
for it?
I got the secret ending.
Like you got all the stuff.
Yeah, I got everything.
I didn't get everything. I get the bad ending.
I got the bad
I don't even know. I don't even know what the bad ending. What happens?
The girl dies.
Okay. Well,
hey.
Spoiler alert.
come on.
Yeah, I was about to say, whoa, dang.
Yeah. Don't worry.
It could be like that. All right.
Probably not gonna play it.
All right. So.
Yeah, beep that out in post.
Or put it-
Also beep out this. Fuck you.
Well, the good ending. Spoiler alert. She
go
lives. So. Perfect.
It would have been better if she dies.
Was there any
That's hilarious.
emotional build up? Did you feel the death? Did you?
I was disappointed. I was honestly disappointed. I'm like,
No.
I can't believe I did all this work and she died.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't that hurt because I didn't know the bitch.
There
Oh
was
no.
no rapport building up.
It wasn't like the Notebook at all.
Ah.
Oh,
I got it. I was going to make a Hunger Games joke.
I
False
got
labs.
nothing. So yeah, what you been playing? We kind of milked it. This is longest what you been playing segment. 35 minutes.
Good.
35 minutes. This might
Oh,
be
and I also been playing Wipeout on my Vita. That's
know.
it. Okay, go.
This is not the PS3 extravaganza. But hold it in. Hold your Vita tight. We will be back on the other side of this break with Xbox news,
Ooh.
Xbox future generation stuff. That was terrible. All right, guys. Catch you. And we are back. Dark Side of the Kingdom. Guys, thank you guys for sticking with us this long. 35 minutes in. Our longest first segment yet. It's going to be a long show.
Very, very long show.
I'm Randy. This is Dean again. Let's introduce ourselves again.
Again? Okay. I am Percy.
Joe Gamefly over here.
Yo, Gamefly, what's up, man?
What up, everybody?
Promo codes at the end of the show, please. Stay tuned.
I sadly do not have a clever name to go with
Oh,
that.
You can be Joe Gamefly
I'll
as
just go,
well.
I ruin video games, Ian.
perfect.
Ian, ruining video games, possibly. Xbox trying
Ian
their best
spoiler.
to maybe ruin video games.
Apparently.
Guys, Xbox
Well, no,
Live
because-
event today. Initial reactions.
Initial gut reaction?
Gut sounds.
Okay, then Mike with Ian.
I think the biggest reaction I had today was, wow, Daft Punk has a new album out. It is very good.
Nice.
I was actually genuinely excited. Other music news. Dan the Automator and Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Yeah.
Single. Awesome.
Yes.
I love her.
They
Gaming
were
news.
dating?
No, she
no.
has a new project out, and they have a
Single. I think you meant like they're both
Oh
single.
yeah. Today,
Hey.
pop culture single news.
Guess I better start
Gossip
brushing my
That's how
teeth.
little I know about anything. Hey, talking about video games,
Yeah.
I'll talk for hours. Be like, oh, these two people. I'm like, oh.
Well, there is, coincidentally enough, there is something exciting that happened today in video games. Xbox Live.
The Xbox reveal.
The reveal.
Finally.
Xbox event.
We've been waiting forever for this thing to happen, and if I drop today, so yeah, your initial reaction was, what?
It felt like I was watching the announcement of an announcement. Like I didn't feel like. It's hard to say I was disappointed, and this isn't meant to sound snarky, but it's hard to be disappointed when they didn't really show me anything. Like, I can't say I'm disappointed, because what was there to be disappointed by? They barely showed you anything.
I mean, it was the Xbox reveal.
Yeah.
They revealed the Xbox. I mean,
Yeah,
did you? What
They
did you
took that name
expect?
very literally.
Yeah.
I mean, did you expect games? It sounds like Percy was expecting Halo 5
well,
launch multiplayer demos.
Well, I was going for, how Nintendo right now, they're like fuck E3 kind of,
Yeah.
and they're just showing all the games off, and with the PS4 announced, they announced games, and not a shitload, but enough to keep people, excited for the PS4.
I mean, a good handful. They showed a lot of
Exactly. So I mean, I was hoping to see something, and like half an hour in, we get shit. So it's
Well,
just
it's half an hour in. It looked like, oh, okay. So the first half was bullshit, and the second half is going to be games, because it was all media, entertainment media stuff. The first half, the second half, I was like, oh, great. And then they show one game, and then they stop talking about games, and then they show a third-party game, and then it's over. And I was like, where?
it felt very like a lot of holes. There wasn't like a clear voice.
Yeah,
there wasn't like a
they
clear message.
They didn't really know what they wanted to tell us. Like, they clearly held stuff for E3, and it's smart. I'm not saying they should have blown their wad, but at the same time, they had no consistency. Like, they didn't know what they wanted to do with their time. They clearly had no idea.
Yeah, I mean, they had all the stuff they wanted to say, but they told it in a weird way, and it seemed sloppy.
Because we can all agree the first half hour way long.
Well, as someone who doesn't have cable and doesn't watch movies or have children, I was thrilled with everything.
Honestly, I use my 360 as a multimedia hub. As my Netflix, Hulu Plus, Xbox.
You should go to PS3. It's a lot better.
Yeah. Well,
One day,
For
I might
the
get there.
streaming stuff.
For the streaming stuff.
And I don't mean that fanboyish. It's just
I hear the Netflix.
way better.
yeah, there's Netflix.
'Cause I mean-
but have you ordered pizza yet?
No.
Ah.
And I probably will not order pizza.
Come
Oh,
on.
what? You're everybody?
Yeah, right? There's an app for that? There's a voice command for that? I don't know. I'm thinking there's not enough. Like, show us games. Because, I mean, this current generation of consoles is kind of hitting that. They're scratching that itch, the multimedia. Like, what can they possibly do? Like, all the Kinect functionality and all the cool bells and whistles, I don't feel like I need it, Like, all the hand gesturing stuff. It seems like frivolous. I kind of hate the mandatory Kinect stuff.
It seems like they're more concerned with having something that's flashy than something that's functional. Like, they're still chasing Minority Report user interface, even though Minority Report user interface seems horribly impractical in real life. But they want to go, oh, but look at like in fairness, I hate Kinect. I hate it. I think it's awful. It's useless. It barely works.
Now,
but when they showed that thing of like, hey, look at it responding to people, at least it seems like it might potentially function.
Yeah.
And what I like in an accessory is when it works, or when it functions, or when it is an accessory to things. That's my favorite thing when an accessory is sold to me.
Because it seems like the initial launch of Natal, the big idea, the super wow factor, I was kind of excited at the very beginning, not showing any of the games, but then what Kinect turned out to be, it was just so, like, kind of garbage.
You
know,
didn't
as a
like
kiddie.
scanning your skateboard into video games?
I
Oh,
was
wait a
gonna-
They
second.
cut that out.
Velocity
Yeah.
Girl 2.0. So I'm still waiting to sell up my Tony Hawk Pro Skater skate shop so I can sell shirts and custom decks and stuff.
Hey, man, if you want a pro ride skateboard, I got one of those. As a joke.
Kinect, yeah, I don't know. It seems like, you know, especially when they first started the show, like they just really kind of were hitting it hard, Kinect 2.0. It's just, I'm not feeling the Kinect agenda.
I'm surprised how little they talked about it, to be honest.
They pulled it back.
I expected them to talk about that stupid thing for about 15 minutes. They know it's their meal ticket. They've tricked everyone into thinking it's better than it is. And so I expected them to talk about it more. But that scares me because now I know that they're going to talk about it a lot at E3 because they barely talked about it during this thing.
It'll probably be more like the games involved then with it.
Now let's-
Which is worse because
It
it's like,
kinda-
I don't care about them at all. I
Like,
couldn't care
come
less
on, you don't
about
like
Kinect
dancing, bro?
games.
Come on.
Is there a good Kinect game? Is there anything besides dancing? I mean, is there
Connect Star Wars. I don't know if you played that.
Ian,
Dun-dun.
get the fuck out.
But
Ironically enough, I didn't play it. No. I played it at CES a little bit. I got some hands-on with the pod racing. Kind of worked maybe, but it was a novelty.
apparently the best
It's
part of
garbage.
that Star Wars game was the
dancing.
dancing game,
Yeah.
which is
Ironically.
just dance.
Have you
central.
heard any of the songs? They'll if you like Star Wars even a little bit, they're gonna make you throw up.
Well, I don't know if you've seen Star Wars recently, but like, if you watch the recut of like the singing scene of New Hope, that gets me every time.
Oh, with
I'm-
Cy Snoodles?
Oh
You're
my
talking
God,
about
oh my-
that sweet
Every
Cy
time I watch
Snoodles
that, I'm
CG?
just like, I hate you, George.
I'm a big Max Rebo band fan.
Well,
So Kinect 2.0.
besides 2.0, I mean, what'd you guys think of the initial, like what it looked like when they showed
It's
it?
gigantic. Isn't it humongous? It looks like an
I
old
thought so.
VCR from
I was-
and it looks like that
exactly.
thing.
Betamax.
You already have
Looks like
one.
a
You have an
Betamax.
I do.
Xbox One right there.
I am a I did some prototyping
That's-
on the original unit.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly what
the
I thought
model
too.
for
Was it's fucking massive and it looks like a VCR.
Well,
I
it's,
think
yeah,
it-
it's crazy.
I think it looks more like a PS Fat just squared off. If you could get the PS3 Fat version,
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah,
one,
yeah,
and just
it
square
kinda-
the corners, maybe I don't know. I couldn't give you a fair size comparison, but I'm looking at that. I'm like, that's gonna look great next to my VCR.
It doesn't. I mean, it kind of has like a high-end vibe.
I
going
think
a
I
little
hope
bit.
it has inputs for the VCR.
Yeah. So I can watch
should-
all my favorite VHS tapes.
Yeah.
How shocked? You guys shocked at all Blu-ray? Was that a big
That's-
surprise?
I mean,
That's probably might have been the shock. I thought I was
Not
surprised
really.
by
It
it.
kinda makes
Need
sense, but
unless
maybe-
they were gonna go digital, they needed it.
Technically, it's Sony, but really, it's just a standard. If
Yeah.
it was a PlayStation thing, that'd be one thing. But it's a Sony thing, and that just means it's a standard. They need to do that unless they're going to go weird proprietary giant disc format, which is stupid and expensive. It-
Laser disc.
Yeah.
It can fit in there. It's so damn big.
Collectability. we're talking about collectability a lot. There's a lot of artwork, on the cover.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Artwork.
Well,
for squares.
good thing it's so big because it needs to be so they can fit the giant fucking Kinect on top of it because that thing is enormous as well.
Does it have to go on top of it? The
Well, that's why it's big and flat because they're like, well, you're not going to have any object in your house big enough for this Kinect to be on, so we'll provide you with
So
something.
it's a stand
Yeah.
for other things.
Yeah, it's functionality is there.
At first, because it showed like really extreme close-ups the whole time, I thought at first for the first couple seconds it looked like the Kinect was built into the system itself.
Yeah, it did.
It threw me off for a
That's what I
loop.
thought too.
It also looked small like a Wii U at first, and then
Yeah.
they showed it, and it was like enormous.
Gigantic. Xbox long lineage of murdering words. Wow. Of big hardware. Xbox One, big.
Oh,
Yeah.
classic.
I mean,
if you
fine,
remember
if
their
you're gonna-
classic controller
Oh,
that they
would you put it-
released.
If you're gonna have one
Oh,
system,
the Duke? You're talking about the Duke?
God.
if you're gonna have
I
one system,
preferred the Duke
make it
actually
bigger.
over
I
the
knew
S.
like 3 kids who did.
I couldn't play Halo without a Duke.
Yeah, carpal tunnel. Actually, I don't know if you guys held one recently. Comically big. Like as time has passed, you can kind of separate yourself a little bit, but they're fucking.
Oh no, it's
Like a steering
hilarious.
wheel?
It was such a bad idea.
Yeah.
Like I preferred it, but it's a horrible idea. I don't know what they were thinking.
It reminds me of the Dreamcast controller, which I don't have. Like I love Dreamcast, and I don't have a problem with it, but it's still a big controller if you go back to it.
It's a little clunky, a little clicky. The buttons.
And it's got that goofy
The
cardboard.
VMU is the
thing
best
in the
part.
middle.
I don't know if you remember
Oh.
that. Oh, you
VMU.
can take that mini games with you wherever you go.
I still have a VMU
So do
with
I.
a working battery that has the Chow minigame from Sonic Adventure 2.
I
Wow.
do. I know. I couldn't get into it. I gave it an honest shot. I couldn't get in any VMU games. Was that any good? The Chow?
No,
Mini-
no, no.
Oh, they're awful. Oh, they're
They
really
were,
Tamagotchi
worse,
like-
they were worse than the what was it called? The PS
The PS1
Mobile?
thing?
There was PS something with
PS
like there's like 2 games ever. It was like a Chocobo game, and something else. It was like a tiny. It was basically a VMU. It was for the PlayStation. It didn't take off at all. I can't remember what it was called, but it was way better than that thing. Which just sucks because it wasn't very good.
I always reminded like Gigapets. Little fucking You know what I'm talking about?
That's all the
Yeah.
Chow mini game
Tamagotchi
was. It
thing.
was like
The
a really bad. It was a bad
Tamagotchi.
Tamagotchi.
They did release the Tamagotchi app in the App Store.
Ah, lovely.
They die really fast.
Yeah, I know. It's on my.
Oh, okay.
You got it too? You got it too?
Yeah, I'm a sucker.
Did you guys like the way the controller looks?
It looks about the same.
Yeah.
Was it just me? Maybe I'm crazy. Did it look like the triggers were raised way higher than they
Yeah,
are?
they're more pressure sensitive this time than how they
Now-
were before.
Because on the 360 pad, I feel like I can hold like they're really low. It looked like it's on more at an angle now. I don't know.
There's some weird stuff going on. There's some shapes a little different now. Force feedback triggers. Did I hear that right?
Yeah,
Or-
what
yeah.
exactly that means, I can't.
I think they said they're
even
also
tell you.
going to have some sort of like
So-
motorized, but the motors are in the triggers.
so
like
it's hard to push.
Yeah, like
like
I
in
think-
a mini game or something.
Well, I think like you have the rumble, so every time you press a trigger, like it'll jump back, or they can program to do different things.
So
from
like
the
picture
game or
any
whatever.
stealth game when you're picking a lock and when like you're moving the D-pad
Yeah.
and then it vibrates. Is there going to be the thing where you're pushing it and then you get a little resistance?
I'm gonna-
And
yeah.
then you go, oh, this is where I'm supposed to stop. You push A and you're picking locks and stuff.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Now, okay, we got some interesting noises in the background. Connect with controller support. About time.
Yeah,
Right?
Kinect. I hate Kinect, but if you're gonna have Kinect, at least have it. It should supplement things. It should not be the entire game.
It should be a and
It
one.
should supplement a regular control scheme, and I'm more okay with that because then your game doesn't live or die by how well Kinect works, and when Kinect doesn't work ever, your game dies automatically.
We can all agree. We can all generally agree. Connect, not so good. But
Whoa, slow down, dude.
Move, worse.
Move has no games, but it works.
Very true. I mean, I did.
Well,
I
if it
did
has no
Connect
games,
once, and
did
that
it
was
fail? Is it a failed piece of hardware? No support.
Technically.
I wouldn't say. I mean, there's still games being made for it, and also now with the new controller, they have that the light on the controller. So
Which it seems like it's just gonna be Move.
exactly.
Which I'm okay with.
It is,
I-
but it's in the controller.
I was a proponent of Move. I
I
bought
like-
one. I have a Move and a Nav, and I wanted to use
too.
them. There just
I
wasn't enough
loved
games.
the idea of 1-to-1. Was it a good 1-to-1 feeling? Or
It was, nah.
I liked it in the light gun games. I liked it in the sports thing. I didn't like first-person shooters, but I just don't like that as a control scheme for first-person shooters.
It was kind of strange. It was just weird. It's out of the norm. Didn't feel right.
Yeah. I don't know. PlayStation for first-person shooters generally, I don't know.
It's the controls you have to get used to it because
The
it's so much
controller's a
different.
little
It is
Xbox
very
control
different,
for first-person shooters, I think, is probably the best next to a mouse and keyboard that you
Yeah.
can get. But
Yeah.
you just have to get used to the analogs because they're a little.
They're a little looser.
Yeah.
They're 10-way instead of 8-way.
Yeah.
So you don't have as much leeway when you're moving your thumbs, and that's one of those things you're not thinking about, but it actually makes a difference. And then same with the placement of your fingers.
Yeah,
Since
different.
it's not lowered or raised, it feels weird. And a lot of times, for some reason, it's defaulted where you want to use L1 and R1 for aiming and shooting, but it wants you to do the other ones because that's like how the 360 does it, and I always have to map them differently. So there's that interesting story, you
Yeah,
guys.
that was actually I was there with you. I was
Thanks, man. It's like you were
excited.
there, right?
I was bugging in. I was visualizing your button inputting. I was watching you playing. We jumped right in. I mean, you got to kind of talk about it. The name Xbox One.
It's fucking stupidest
What the
thing I've
fuck?
ever heard.
It was
I don't want to be
I
that
can't-
guy, but it's
as
so
much as I
dumb.
want to. I feel like I have to. For Percy sitting right next to me. I can't defend the name. I don't know. I can't defend the
Well,
X-
in fairness, it's called that because only one person thinks it's a good idea.
That makes sense. Where does one come from? Like,
Well, I mean, I can see where they're going. Like, it's their one thing you're gonna go
Yeah,
to.
it's the one entertainment, but
Yeah,
it's the one thing
all
you
in
need.
one fucking thing
Yeah.
you're gonna need. The one
it's-
hub. Blah,
I
blah,
don't
blah.
know,
So I
it's-
mean, I can see where they were going with it, but it's.
It's
well,
dumb.
it's
Well, yeah,
safe-
it's horrible. Like we were talking before, like you said, the PS4. I actually heard a joke. I mean, read a joke on Twitter. It was, what's the score right now? PS4, Xbox One. So,
Pretty good.
Yeah. So
If you notice though, on the system itself, it just says Xbox. It doesn't say Xbox One.
Yeah, it's almost like they don't even think it's a good idea.
So could this
they're
be?
not.
I think it's just going to
not
confuse
committed.
people. It's
Yeah.
just going to like, I got an Xbox One. Well, that's cool. You mean like the old one? Like
Exactly. Yeah.
Now-
right
yeah,
away,
there's
I
gonna
think
be that.
about classic Xbox.
Yeah.
Not that you should ever do that, but I think about classic Xbox, not this new system. So I just think it's going to confuse younger people and older people. So
and see everybody.
Yeah.
and it doesn't really make a difference what you call it because the Xbox following are going to
Yeah.
buy whatever.
And
Let's
it's
be
gonna
honest.
a year from now we're gonna call it the Xbox anyway.
Yeah, you're on
Or
that.
maybe
It's-
people will call it like the X1 or something.
Yeah, I
but
was
it's gonna be
thinking
getting
that,
called the
X1.
Xbox, so it almost
Yeah.
doesn't matter. But if
Yeah.
you ask me, like you go, hey, do you like that name? Nope.
Yeah. I mean,
It's still better than all the code names. If you go like to the history of
Durango.
games and all the
Durango.
code names for things,
Yeah.
like at one point,
I
the
like
360 was going to be the pyramid or something like that. Like, no, that's.
I'm a big fan of Dolphin. I
No.
wouldn't have minded
No,
if
I don't-
Nintendo
I
stuck
don't
with
want
Dolphin.
that.
I'm joking.
Divisive. Wow, really?
I think Dolphin would have been a cool name. Natal was a bad choice. Durango. Yeah, what am I go down to the freaking saloon and play it? I think it's going to confuse moms that are going in and buying it for their kids. I've mentioned this to you guys before when I worked at Game Crazy. I've seen parents make decisions that don't make sense, that are baseless, and have nothing to do with what you told them the systems are, because they look at the name. I saw people get confused and think that the Wii U was just the tablet and that you still use the Wii. Even CNN at one point in time was reporting that was what it is. People get confused easily. Like, we're like I guess in this room we're the 1%. We know how stupid that is, but you're surprised on a regular basis how quickly people get confused. I think it's going to be one of those dumb things that people are going to get confused by.
Well, do you guys like the Wii U name? Or?
I hate.
No, I think it's a terrible name.
I think it's an awful
the Wii
name.
was a terrible name
because it's not like
okay.
committing to two. Maybe like my thing is it a stopgap system? Because I mean, it's not quite Nintendo's next generation. Like, did they expect
it was their next generation.
It's current.
It's not anybody else's, but it was theirs. That's why it was a problem. No one thinks it's a new system. They thought it was an upgrade, which Nintendo shot themselves in the foot. They love upgrading their systems. People thought it was like the DS Lite to the DS Fat. People were confused. They're like, oh, it's a peripheral. This system sells me tons of peripherals. Like, they should have done a better job of explaining it's not one of our many peripherals. It's not a small upgrade. It is a brand new system.
Also, I think they shot themselves in the foot with that whole Wii U. They had a chance to really step ahead and actually spend more, even though it costs more money, to spend more money and make it graphically comparable to the new PS4 and the new Xbox One.
Yeah.
And they chose not to because we need to keep it cheap for the kids. But let's be honest, the people who really make money for Nintendo are the kids who grew up with it, who are adults now, who are like, I love Nintendo. I'm going to buy it right away.
Exactly.
And the Wii U is the first time I did not buy a Nintendo system the first day it came out.
Me too, actually.
And I was just after their announcement, I was so pissed off. I'm like, you are killing yourselves here. Like,
hell, I don't even know when I'm going to buy one.
Yeah.
I will get one when it goes down. But
when Bayonetta 2 comes out, I might think about it. But I don't.
then, like,
it's
I'm
upsetting
waiting
that they
for
chose to
Earthbound.
go that direction. You're one of the best companies like in the world by far, and you just shot yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they were
We had
looked
that-
at them as innovative and everything too. So it sucks seeing them kind of running their company and just.
It's going to be their
We're
last
gonna
system.
touch
They're
on
not
it
going to be able to make
in
another
news.
one.
In news, a little bit. There's a little bit of a trickling down factor that we'll see some repercussions. But yeah, I mean, like we had that intangible coolness. Like it kind of had like the graphics okay, but like the motion controls new, fun. Just the whole like touch panel. I mean, we have the iPads, we have iPhones now. It seems like there's nothing, even for Nintendo, there's not that unique.
I'll be honest. I
kind
played
of
it.
thing.
My buddy got a Wii U. His girlfriend got it for him for Christmas because she knows he likes video games, and so she thought that a Wii U was a good gift for that person. And there's a couple decent mini games where you're like, okay, I get the appeal of this, but it's not. It's something where you go. It's kind of like what the Wii turned out. And you're just like, oh, whip it out when friends are over. Play for 20
I get that a
minutes.
lot.
Yeah, I do that every day.
I
of which,
try
when
and do
this
that, but they
podcast
run
is over,
away.
boys.
So
Stay away from the playgrounds, Percy.
But it wasn't a thing you go, oh, I'm going to go home and play that brand new Wii U game. Like,
Yeah.
I would give someone $100 if they've ever even thought that.
That's one thing that's different. Like when you showed people the Wii and they saw how simple it was, they would go home and they would get it or try it or get it on a list to get it. You couldn't sell this to anyone.
Moms and grandmas were going, oh, I
like
can play
crazy.
games, but no, there's no moms and grandmas lining up to play the Wii U. There's
mean,
there's
even-
no Wii bowling on this one.
Yeah.
For the hardcore gamers, are HD titles, Mario, Zelda, is that going to do it enough? I mean,
When did they come out? Maybe.
yeah.
I think
But where are they?
Percy,
Yeah, they-
Earthbound.
well, yeah.
Download.
That's not fucking happening.
But I wanna,
Good luck on that one.
I'm waiting for Earthbound. But I mean, honestly, they got the new Wind Waker coming out,
it looks beautiful.
and
It's
it looks
absolutely gorgeous.
Just the screenshots we saw.
Interesting
I've never played it. And
style
I want
choices.
to play
Oh, really?
it.
Dumb thing. I don't like Zelda. That's the one Zelda game I can say like I'll stand behind. I haven't been. I don't hate it. I'm not a hater or anything.
I like.
It's just
Zelda.
I've never been a huge Zelda fan. Wind Waker was really good. I like that a lot.
I'm a
Oh.
huge Zelda fan. I love Zelda.
Yeah.
Respond. What's your
well,
gut reaction?
Wind
to that
Waker
statement?
is still an amazing game. You can put that in your GameCube right now, and it looks still
Yeah.
Timeless.
Completely timeless.
The
It was
art
such
style
a-
they went with.
Now,
Yeah,
And I
I'm-
still remember when they originally announced that, and I was sitting watching it on the computer, and I was like,
Oh, who didn't? Who didn't
but
think
this
that,
is,
right?
but that's just becoming like the normal Nintendo response when you see something Nintendo does. What are you thinking, Nintendo? Why are you doing this? And for a couple years, they've tricked us in a good
Yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah.
Like they panned out. Now it's not going to happen. But I think the future of Nintendo, and I hate to say this, is the Wii U is going to be their last system, and when they finally say we're just going to make games, and they make a contract with either Xbox or PlayStation, that is going to be the end of the console wars. It's that because that
I don't know. Was that
is going to make it.
I don't know, man. They just made that sweet deal with Sega, and the next Sonic game's an exclusive.
Finally.
I was just gonna go there. Sonic.
Sonic. Oh, I hate
There
Sonic.
hasn't been a good Sonic game in a long time.
Sonic Generation.
The DS games kind of okay, kind of.
Colors was okay, but it wasn't a Sonic game. It was just a game.
Yeah.
That was almost a Knights game more than it was anything else.
Even Knights isn't that good.
Yeah, well, no, I
Totally overrated.
Yeah,
What?
no, that
did
game
you guys,
gets
did you guys
talked
not
about
play
so much.
Sonic Generations?
I didn't really like it.
Yeah, actually, you know what?
Oh,
I wanted
that game
to.
was awesome.
I
I
wanted
wanted to. I didn't
wanted
hate
to.
it, but I
Okay, well, you didn't hate it.
It wasn't Sonic
We're getting
Episode
somewhere.
1 or anything.
That's kind of like my
Getting
motto.
somewhere.
I wanted to play it. It's kind of my go-to.
Oh, okay.
I haven't got to it.
I thought you were gonna keep going.
I want to play it. I want to play
I
it.
think the last good Sonic game I played was Sonic Advance 2.
Yeah.
Because it felt like
Hey,
they
that
were
wasn't
trying to
pretty
make
good.
a Sonic game. And I love the Game Boy Advance. Honestly, it might just be rose tinted glasses.
This, Sonic RPG by BioWare. Did you guys give that a little
I
spin?
like that. Dark,
That was
it
a
Dark
game,
Brotherhood.
a handheld, right?
Handheld DS. It got
Yeah.
a little wordy. I didn't get too deep into it, but
I like the combat mechanics. They were really. It was very involved. It reminded me of have you ever played the Mario and Luigi RPGs?
Love those games.
Love 'em.
You know how
Love
there's
'em.
no such thing as push A and then attack. Like there's always something you're doing. It was a lot like that. You're
Yeah.
doing a lot of. All the attacks and abilities are super involved, but it was still turn based.
But I really love this Xbox reveal show. It's awesome.
yeah, I was gonna say that.
So,
Let's go back
Good
to
segue.
Xbox.
let's get back into it, shall we?
telling. Well, I mean,
Let's talk about
Let's talk
sports,
bullet
guys.
points.
Come on.
sports. Let's bring it
All
back to
right, all right.
sports. EA
Okay.
bringing some new engine.
I'll be the first one. I'll be the guy you guys can shit on. When they said that they're going to integrate fantasy football, I was like, oh, that's fucking pretty sweet. I'm a big football guy. I'm a big football guy, and I really.
Yeah.
But here's how I wrap it all in full circle. I
like
started
sports, bro.
I,
You like sports?
I started playing fantasy
Says
football.
Dean the Robot.
I've always been a big, not always, but I've been a football guy for a long time. Buccaneers, what up?
Okay.
Man, we got Darrell Rivas, eat a dick.
That means
NFC
nothing
South,
to me,
what's
but
up?
I appreciate the enthusiasm.
Thanks, man. It'll be for one or two people.
Nice.
But I started playing fantasy football because I love Pokemon. I love Pokemon. I was the perfect age for when Pokemon came out to be the guy who was like, oh, I'm not old enough to think this is shitty. I love RPGs. It's just a good game. I really like it. And fantasy football is just Pokemon. It's Pokemon, but instead of choosing Pokemon, you're choosing football players. And I got when I found out that's what it was, I was like, okay, but it's tied to real life games. All right, I can do that. And I
In real
love
time.
fantasy football now. So when I saw that you can watch football games and it will like update you with stuff, I'm not saying I'm going to buy the system for it. I doubt I'll even use it. I like the Yahoo Fantasy Football app, but it was.
It's cool, right?
It's outside the box. It's not something that they're gonna sell you on the system for, but it's a unique. I mean, they weren't selling people on achievements either, and now look how important achievements are. I'm not saying that's what the fantasy part of it will be, but it's an interesting idea.
I can honestly say the way you sold fantasy football right there, comparing it to Pokemon, is the best description I've ever heard for something that
What
I
up,
thought was
dude?
incredibly dumb.
I know, dude.
But
It's
if
Pokemon.
you say it like that, you're like,
Wow.
It's
Think-
Pokemon.
Think of it like this.
It was like
it sounds way more interesting.
Yeah,
I'm not
it-
going to do it, but it sounds
Yeah.
way more interesting.
Adrian Peterson's
Still not interested.
Arceus.
What's the equivalent
What?
of a?
I know. Don't worry, a couple people will get that.
Is there a equivalent to evolving? Is there in fantasy football? Is that it?
Is
there tangible? No.
No. Well, I mean, no.
This just helps.
random.
This is just a nice help.
Yeah, it's just like
Helpful tool.
I've always
you want to try and get as many fully evolved Pokemon right off the bat as you can, and then you have to slowly start stepping it down and getting some like, I'd rather have I want to have a good deep pull.
Yeah.
I like Pokemon a lot. I'd rather have.
I love
I
all
want
the
a
puns that are
Manectric,
going on.
but
Yeah.
I guess I can't have a Manectric. I'll just have. I guess I'll just have a Raichu. I really, really want a Kyogre, but I can't get a Kyogre. I guess I'll just have a Kadabra.
okay.
That's pretty
Mom-
deep.
Yeah.
Pretty deep.
That was a help. That was
I-
pretty deep.
Mike Steele's Pokemon corner is over.
Violently verging back to Nintendo every chance that we get.
Yes.
I don't know, man.
That's
It's-
true, actually.
Yeah.
So interface, did that do anything for you guys? I mean,
Can I?
it didn't look sexy or anything.
Well, it looked like what it looks like now, except without ads, which you know they're not going to do. So
Yeah.
you know that's not even actually the interface. Unless they show me an interface with fake ads, then I'll go, okay, that's what it's going to look like. And it sounds like a joke, but like, it's serious.
Yeah,
'cause they're not going to have an interface without ads. So you know that what we saw today is not what it's going to look like when you plug that system in.
And it's going to
That's
evolve
sad.
like
Yeah.
the current one over every so often
Yeah.
anyway. So you can't I don't know. As long as it's not Windows 8, I'm pretty
Yeah.
excited.
One thing I did appreciate that it's kind of hard not to. It's just the responsiveness. It seemed like everything was snapping around. Everything was moving.
yeah,
around.
Do we know
That's
though
cool.
that was live,
I know.
or if that was video? Like,
Yeah, of course he was watching live TV during the event.
You know what? Someone I follow on Twitter, they're like, yeah, I'm watching right now is what Price is Right is on where I am.
Oh,
right now.
really?
Yeah. So they were saying that is true.
Okay,
But-
I thought
but
it
what
was
they-
fake.
what-
Oh, exclusive.
Yeah,
There
but
you
what
go.
didn't
Press
sell
out
me
the
was the Skype thing. How he was talking to the guy with Skype.
That
and
seemed
guy's
like horseshit.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, I'm playing a game. The guy goes, and I'm playing this game. It's so much fun. You guys want to join me? Blah, blah, blah. And I didn't seem real at all. Like,
Well,
the
even
conversation was so
Even just
robotic.
pure logistics, what they do is give that clown a demo unit and go, hey, we're going to hook this up just so you can Skype call us. Like, that was clearly made before.
Yeah, it was-
they're selling us on the dream, but
There's
they're
some interesting-
patronizing us at the same time.
Interesting things going on. I mean, the TV, they're fucking hitting TV. They're developing TV.
That's all they hit was TV, TV,
Yeah.
TV. And I
For
was
people that care about that, I bet that was pretty sick. And so I won't try and act like I'm the majority. I don't have cable. I haven't had cable for a while. I operate off Netflix, Crunchyroll, the Hulu app.
It's-
like that's where I get my entertainment. I don't have cable, and so there's right out of the box something that they clearly think is important. I can't even use. So it's hard for me to care about.
See, it kind of makes sense because you said it was televised because I watched the online stream.
Yeah.
At first, the messaging was like, okay, if the type of people that are going to go online, watch it, are going to be gamers. So why aren't they hitting the gaming message? But apparently it was televised.
It was
on Spike.
televised.
Well,
Yeah,
it
it's on
has to do with stock, people in
on Spike or
investment. So
whatever. Yeah,
they
so-
have to keep their money up. So you have to appease everybody.
Yeah.
That's why E3
So this
is
was
so
a-
boring with facts. It's points you're like,
Well,
oh my
especially
God,
when
it's-
they televise it, so
Yeah.
you know that they're not making this press conference for people. They're making it for the
'cause you
guy
have to
who's
remember-
flipping channel.
Yeah, CNN's going to be there, and all these other people are going to report on it. And you need to keep it to the
Bullet
layman.
points. And generally speaking, mostly non-gamers were excited about the announcement today. I've seen some genuine excitement from people.
With the TV, though, you still
For what it's
need
worth.
to have a subscription
Yeah,
to
exactly.
Comcast
Yeah.
or whatever
Yeah.
you're going to use. So you're going to pay your 50 something a month, whatever you're paying, and then
That's not.
hook it to your Xbox
sure,
anyway. But you still have this box that you get from the cable company anyway. Like,
Well, and there are already
how are
devices
you going to
that
jerry
do that.
rig this together? Like, what's the point? Like,
There- If you get a Boxy Box or a one of the high end Roku's, you can essentially hijack that stuff anyway with it. I think that's called an IR jacker. You plug it in the back, and it filters all that stuff through.
Yeah.
And some of them have voice commands, and so. In fairness, that's me going, oh, I already knew this existed, so I don't care. So if you didn't know it existed, it would be cooler.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's not. I don't know. That's not what you lead off your reveal with, do you? Like, hey, here's our new video game console. Guess what? When you're not playing video games, you can also not play video games.
Yeah.
And while you're not playing video
And-
games and watching a movie, you can also not play video games and talk to someone.
Yeah,
It's
that-
like,
that's what I
whoa, I
thought-
cannot play video games 3 times at the same time. Oh, this is the best.
That's what I thought was weird. It's like why do you buy a system to fucking play games, not watch TV?
Yeah.
So I mean,
there was a time in a place where you would turn your system on and you would play it, and that's what you did.
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't watch TV with another TV to the left of it or something, or and call your friend while you were playing it. Either friend was over and you're playing together, or your friend's busy doing something else. You didn't like. Are we that like attention starved that we need so many things going on at
Yeah.
once? Not to mention most people nowadays
That's what happens. That's what's
have their
happening.
phone
Yeah,
with
it's
them
I have a
anyway.
phone.
You got a phone.
Phone,
If I need to
iPad.
contact anyone, I'm ready.
I don't
I
know.
can kill this guy at the same time.
Xbox
So-
Smart Glass. You can watch. You can do your live streaming.
Have
and
you ever used
companion.
Smart Glass?
Yeah.
Have
The-
you used Smart Glass?
The current iteration.
It is fucking piss poor.
It is piss poor.
It is embarrassing.
There are some cool things that you can actually control some stuff with your phone and some things, but on the iPad, it's pretty piss poor.
Well,
for what they
what
offer.
I like about it is that it's like, you know what? I want to choose a game, but I want it to take 10 seconds. I want to choose it, and I want to stare at my screen for 10 seconds and just think about my life,
Hey,
think
well-
about the decisions I made, and then have the game play.
Wait, so
this-
Smart Glass is great.
Is that were you guys using iPhones for that, or
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an
do you think if you
app,
had like a Windows phone, it would work better, faster?
probably.
Probably
I mean,
not.
but it'd still be
Yeah,
stupid.
Windows
Yeah,
phone.
It would
like,
still suck.
I think one of the best things that came out of the event, though, with the voice-enabled stuff, we're just getting one step closer to Back to the Future 2, where you can yell at your TV, say, I want channel 7, I want channel 8, I want channel
Yeah, yeah.
13.
It's pretty close.
And once we get that, man,
And in defense of the voice thing, for real, one of the few things that was good about the first generation Kinect was that the voice stuff was about the only thing that worked in it. And not always, but it was the thing that you could use with a little confidence and not assume it's going to just fall apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the fact that they know that and they're going, okay, let's make this voice stuff even better. If that's all, if I can pretend my Kinect is not a camera, it's just a speaker, I'd be okay with that.
Isn't that funny though? Like the Kinect camera is just voice commands like the big cell.
Yeah. Yeah. What? Is
Because,
it
I mean,
weird that the Kinect is the worst?
Nothing Kinect offers justifies having an HD camera connected to the internet on my face.
No, not at all.
All times, reading my emotions.
You don't like
I
that
don't
your
like it.
Xbox will know your heartbeat?
Sentient machine watching me. I don't like that.
Well, don't be watching porn nearby.
It's like the Penny Arcade comic when they were talking about the new Xboxes, and one of them was a sex box that watches you have sex. So we're just getting closer to that too, which is just that's going to be great.
Well, I'm excited for tomorrow because you know that their comic is going to be about the
Oh my
Xbox.
God,
And it's not like it's going to be good.
No, it's going to be awful.
Now there was a pretty interesting bullet point that I think is worth talking about. Games related. 15 original IPs. Or 15.
15,
how did that work
15
out?
launched, and then I think 8
15
original.
exclusive games, 8 new franchises.
So,
In 1 year?
I don't want to be
It's like-
Debbie Downer, but normally, but let me please.
yeah, they're going to get.
Number game, a little hyperbole.
What they normally do
Yes.
when they talk about exclusives, but they don't want to tell you about games, is they show a bumper with the studios that are working on them. What you don't do when you're either they're first-party games that you can't reveal, or they're games no one gives a shit about and they happen to be exclusive, is you don't show a bumper. Because none of the studios making exclusives are worth even 3 seconds of someone looking at a slide. And when they didn't show a slide afterwards, even hinting towards who's working on these exclusives,
Kinda weird.
that was worrisome.
And did they say that they're box games or are they downloadable games?
That's a
Because
good point.
It's
That's
like
actually
half of them
really
are
good
download games.
Yeah, they didn't
and
say
then-
at all. They just said
Because I can
games.
imagine like 3 of them are just Halo, and then the other ones are download games.
I can picture
Any-
that. I mean, yeah, they do get a lot of. They have the stable, the Twisted Pixel. Those guys suck.
There's some legitimate good
They have-
arcade
hate
games.
those
Really?
I think Comic Jumper is probably
Okay,
the
that's not a
worst
good game. Don't play that
anyone's
game.
ever made.
But
I think
Explosion Man, it has some cool stuff. And Maw is okay in small burst.
I couldn't get on the Maw.
Really-
Are
I
they
couldn't
the
get on
best
the Maw.
game developer? No, but they're not awful.
The Comic
It's
Jumper
worse.
soured me on them so much. And Miss Explosion Man.
They're Kinect
It's
game. Didn't they have a
so bad.
Kinect shooting game?
Oh, the Gunslinger.
Yeah, that was fun.
What? No.
Was that them
Wasn't-
too?
It's fun. It was funny. You didn't like?
No, no.
I enjoy.
Oh
fun
no.
stuff.
Oh no.
It was, I'm pretty sure it was ironic, right?
Yeah, it was
The
ironic.
Gunslinger?
That's all.
Everything they do is
If
fucking
you-
ironic. Yeah. It's easy to say your game sucks when it's an ironic video game.
Yeah, we're going out to make a shitty game again.
I fucking hate those guys so much.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
But no,
Generally-
that's a good point about the downloads. I hadn't even thought about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
'Cause that's-
honestly, I didn't think about that.
I bet
Also-
like 3 or 4 of them probably are.
When they before they do the whole Blu-ray reveal, which was big and cool, because you're gonna need the amount of memory now because
Yeah.
of how big games are. I was worrying that maybe it was all download games because I thought the new PlayStation was gonna be all download games too, which I think you're gonna have an option both ways, disc or in the game.
Yeah,
Probably going to lean towards it with all the Gaikai stuff. There's no reason not to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm there yet. Do you guys purchase full price downloadable games?
Yeah.
You do?
I have. And
I don't
There's
mind
no-
doing it. I like do it with Steam all the
I don't know if
time.
I'm there yet. I don't know. It's just something about like $59.99. It just, I don't know.
Well, a lot of the Sony first party stuff they jack it down.
Yeah.
And for Fire Emblem, I beat Fire Emblem on the 3DS 2 weeks ago. You couldn't find that in stores.
Yeah.
And so that's why I downloaded it.
That's why it was the #1 downloaded game for
Yeah.
Nintendo for like 3 weeks. It
Yeah.
was by far their biggest seller. And they're like, "Wow, we're really popular." No, it's because you can't find your damn
Yeah,
game anywhere.
You had
and
one
it's an amazing
shipping of your
game.
game.
It's,
Yeah.
it's so good.
Really
Demo
love
was
that
good.
game.
Never played them. I played the demo, but I love Advance Wars, and it seems like it's
You
kind of
like
the
that.
same family of
It's
game.
one of those games where you're like, you spend an hour in a battle or whatever, and then when your character dies, and you're like, we got to do that again because you're connected.
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
I don't want
See,
him to
that's-
die. I worked too damn hard on him.
I wish I would have known. The game's so big, I just put it on a separate SD. I would have just brought you the SD, and you could have. Oh wait, no, it doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work that way. It's tied to your system.
Yeah, you're right. Never mind. Take that, Dean. You're never gonna play it.
I'll let you borrow mine.
fuck you.
I'll try it. I'll play it down. We'll see if.
We keep going back to Nintendo.
Yeah, right.
Fuck.
Going to,
God
especially
damn
for
it.
such a troubling system.
I can't
potentially.
help
I don't
it.
know.
Okay, well, they also announced that it's not going to be backwards compatible.
Well,
At
no,
all.
they didn't announce that.
I'm sorry, yeah, I'm
They
sorry.
quietly let the media know
I'm
so the
sorry,
media
yeah.
could announce.
Yeah.
yeah, the
All
media
the-
let loose that.
all the things that that you hate.
Yeah.
I guarantee the things that people are going to hate about the system most, they quietly told everybody after the press thing and let the media go, wait a second, no
What?
backwards compatibility. You have to pay money for. You can't
That's
take
good.
have
Let
fun
people-
playing fighting games with your friends. Like, oh, you want to bring over Street Fighter Cross Tekken? Yeah,
do
do you
it.
have $60?
You have to assume that PS4 is going to kind of do the same thing.
Oh, now they have
Otherwise, you think that they would have announced that they weren't going to. By
No,
now.
I think this is just a way for them to just slip it in with them. Oh yeah, ID3. Guess what? We are also doing that. You're not going to be
There's-
stung about that. And also with the people who are like having a problem, because one of the things that they mentioned is when you buy a game, you're gonna assign it to your system, as it were, so you can't do trading games.
Yeah.
Or you have to buy a type pass to do it. And a lot of people were upset about that. But if you think about it, like Steam does that already. And if do you guys use Steam at all?
Yeah.
Like when you download Steam, you can only use it here. You could make a separate computer and download Steam again and use it, but someone at your house at the other computer couldn't use it at the same time. So it's terrible as it sounds. You're already used to it. Most people are already used to it, and it's not the end of the world. But the fact that you brought up of going to your friends and playing a fighting game, which is one of the best experiences you can have, which you can't do anymore. Like,
there's something to be said for that.
That's depressing.
Well, and there's potentially a chance. Like, I don't want to write them off initially, because if they do, the biggest problem with trying to take doing that with all digital is, I don't know if you've ever tried to like recover your profile on someone else's 360. It takes like 20 minutes, and it's a nightmare. And then you have to do it again when you go back. And like now, if they can make it seamless, where it's as simple as sign out, sign in. I own this game, and now we're signed in as me, so we can play it, or something along those lines. I'll forgive them a little more as long as it's easy. But if they don't make that easy, if it's like the Wii U, where all your profile's hard tied in a really weird, like non-network, like it thinks the internet doesn't exist way, that will make this really tough to swallow. Obviously, right now we don't know how it's going to work, so it's easy to get mad.
Yeah.
If they make pulling up profiles on other systems easy, it'll be easier to do, but.
Well, I mean,
they haven't said anything. It's hard.
I can't imagine them making it easy.
Neither
the
can I.
reason, because if it was super easy, you could just be like, I'm going to my friend's house, I'm going to sign in then, and then they can sign in whenever I'm not playing and play a game.
That's true.
Share passwords.
Yeah, but didn't PlayStation 4 announce them? They're going to be able to do that with, like, if they brought their own controller to your house, you can sign in under your name and you're playing.
If you brought it's tied to your controller,
or something like that. So
but they also aren't doing anything.
Hypothetically,
it doesn't matter because you can bring your games anyway. So
also
the controller thing makes kind of sense because.
Yeah,
you're not going to leave it there because you're going to spend $70 for this controller.
Exactly.
So that makes like if they did it like that, I wouldn't have.
Yeah, I think they're
going
to do something like that. I think it even works as if you're playing and you get trophies, it goes back to your account. And not to
or
them,
maybe even have like an app or something like when you're on your Xbox, you're like, hey, I'm going to my friend's house, and you make a party, and then that sends the other Xbox like a note, like, hey, we're going to be playing this. Don't get mad.
Yeah.
Please let us do this.
Like I can't use like a Netflix account where you only have one thing, or a Spotify or something. I can't use it if it's being used somewhere else.
Yep.
But I can't picture them doing that.
No. It's too innovative. Maybe in 4 years.
Oh yeah. Well, by the time the third UI comes out, we'll
definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. At what point do we reach the diminishing returns on consoles? I mean, graphically speaking, there's only so much that they could do. They showed Forza of whatever number it is.
Well,
racing
it
looks
games
like a car game. Wow.
Yeah,
racing games
exactly.
have looked amazing for a long time.
PS2 racing games still look good.
Long time.
Yeah. I mean, I think not to not focus on the Xbox 360 thing, but it's hard to even say how good it's going to look because, to be completely honest, the only time I felt like I was really looking at the graphic capability was when they showed the Call of Duty guy's arms.
Yeah.
Just his arms. And his
arms.
I was like, it's weird, but I was like, oh my god, I love that they're doing this because now I know something about this system. They're actually informing me of something, and I hadn't been told or shown anything the whole time. And I'm like, oh, cool, I'm seeing these arms. Okay, so it can do something interesting. Because the PS4, the whole event was showing you its capabilities. And then this is just like, I have to wait till Infinity Ward is telling me about some characters' arms?
But at the same time, you don't really know if that was really the game engine.
That's true.
Or a high-end PC just like rendering it out.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was starved for information. So
I totally understand, but this is just going to be a high-end PC just the way the platform is built.
Yeah.
Which is the best thing they could have done.
Yeah, it's super smart.
I just think we're at a point in consoles, like, I personally don't even think we need new consoles. I have no problem with my PlayStation.
That's what I'm saying.
PlayStation 3 and Xbox. I think they're perfect. I mean, graphics can get better, and if you're really a graphics whore, as it were, you can get a high-end computer if you have the money, and it's going to look better than this Xbox and better than the PlayStation, because the people who are good at building computers can make fabulous computers.
Yeah.
Mind you, you're not going to get those exclusives, but at the same time, do we really need it? I don't really think so.
I think the biggest reason to do it is because you get a system level reset where if you look at what they thought the PS3 and the 360 were going to do, it was not lots of digital items and downloading and infrastructure and stuff. That's all like tacked on the back end and kind of just like dick taped together.
Hey, Freudian slip.
So what they need, I think it's less about the graphics and more now they have a system level version of all that stuff we want you to do. They can think a little more forward.
Yeah.
And it almost doesn't, like they can just kind of keep doing the same thing they were already doing, but now they have a system and a network and a like a set of tools that supports that. And I think that's really the biggest
And it
reason
kind
to
of
update.
makes sense why they focus so much on the system itself opposed to just raw games. Because I
Yeah.
mean, the games are coming.
Yeah.
You know that the games are going to look
always gonna be
amazing.
games.
And you know, just hit these features hard. And I don't know, interesting stuff. What do you guys think about the Xbox original TV series stuff? Interesting.
It was a little confusing.
And it was a little vague.
I remember I tweeted like, is Steven Spielberg
Yeah.
just talking about this,
Yeah.
or is he
He doesn't
actually
say his
involved?
role at all. He doesn't. You have no
'Cause-
idea what his role is going to be. He could be like, I signed off on it. We're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, or are they just trying to go like, oh, well, this famous director
Watch this.
likes it? But I remember like that ending going, what is his? Is he even actually involved? And now
I think
was
so
like,
because I
don't
mean,
know.
Phil Jackson was originally attached to do the movie stuff, so there isn't need for Microsoft to want to pursue the Halo, medium on TV and stuff. So it kind of makes sense that they're going to do like a Halo original series with Steven Spielberg. That was
Well,
kind of the
also, is
message.
it going
I
to
don't
be
know.
on TV?
It's going to be on
Or
Halo
is
on
it
Xbox.
Xbox
Gonna
Live.
just be on the system, and then why are they calling it TV? Because then it's just a series.
gonna be
It was
hosted
just
by,
that the whole thing was very convoluted.
If it's
Is it?
anything
Yeah.
like the new Amazon show, Zombieland. Have
Oh,
you
it's gonna be
watched-
gonna
gonna
open
be-
up your mouth and pee inside of it.
It's awful. Oh my god.
Is that a thing? Is that
Zombieland's a series on that's exclusive to Amazon.
How many,
Well, did
episodes,
you
how many
hear it?
episodes are there?
I saw.
I don't know, but they're awful.
It's only the pilot, and it actually got canned because there was so much hate.
It got
over
canned
it.
already? Oh, fabulous.
I saw
Dude,
that.
it was so bad.
the cast comparison, and yeah, the casting was just like.
Well, the
You know,
original-
why would they do that? Why wouldn't they just
Cheap.
make new characters? Like
Yeah.
they didn't even.
Yeah, they
like,
could just
what
do
a
4
stupid
set.
idea.
It would have been perfect.
Wait. They're doing the same people, but
supposed
different.
to
The same names.
Tallahassee.
It's supposed to be the same characters from the movie, but recast
Originally-
with bad actors.
Oh god.
It's really bad.
What are they thinking?
Originally, the movie that was it was pitched as a TV show.
Yeah, didn't Fox actually?
Yeah, it was
like, they
pitched
said
as
they
a
were gonna
TV
do it
show,
for
but
a
then they
while?
made it a movie.
Ah.
And if they made different characters and wasn't as hokey, it
set
probably
in
would
It just
the same
okay.
seems
time.
so
But
cheap.
like, if you compare it to like the Netflix original program, they did the House of Cards.
Oh,
with
they're
the-
knocking it out of the
I've
park
heard
Yeah,
with all that
they're
stuff.
wrecking it. So,
There's.
and Halo, how much story development can you possibly have? We're angry. Someone's invading us.
Yeah.
People are gonna die.
Well, I liked
Let's send
Forward
some
Unto
guy
Dawn.
who doesn't talk and has no personality or a face
In a
to
ma-
save
yeah.
to be the main character. And then Steven Spielberg's just going to be there and he's going to be like, okay, now we need to involve a
What's
kid who has
this?
problems with his parents
So,
and aliens somehow. And he's going to be friendly a little bit because I like friendly aliens. And you're like, fuck you, Steven Spielberg. Yeah.
wow. Tangent, wow.
Goddamn, he's going out.
So, Halo fan, you enjoy the Halo series?
No, not at all.
Nice. I feel like you guys met before the show, talked, came with an agenda.
I mean, I don't have a problem with Xbox or
I
even
don't.
fandom in any direction
It's
when it
also-
comes to that kind of stuff. Halo just doesn't. It's never interested me. It's just similar to the God of War series. It never
Yeah.
interests me because a character development who gets angry and then gets angry does nothing for me.
Yeah, how?
So it's one of those things. It's
How
just
much
like
angry can
I don't know
be?
how. I mean, hypothetically, you could make a cool space show.
Well,
They did it with
there's-
Babylon 5, Star Trek, and stuff.
Battlestar.
But you're basing it off a franchise with a character with no face
Well,
and no personality.
To be fair, I mean,
true.
there's Halo literature out there. There's a couple novels.
yeah.
I never read it.
I take
I've
care
read
of that
actually.
stuff.
They're pretty,
Are they pretty? They're pretty
I
good,
like
right?
reading sci-fi.
There
and
is-
So I've read.
see-
I read the first trilogy that went with the game.
There's a
that-
through line.
Yeah, I like. It's all right. It's an all right universe.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I liked Forward Unto Dawn, and that kind of gave you an idea of what live action Halo could be like.
Yeah.
But it didn't focus on Master Chief at all, which was smart.
Oh,
and I have a feeling
yeah.
this show
It's
will
just-
completely and exclusively focus on.
If they're smart,
those
they would do
Everybody
like
else.
in the Halo Reach team now they have personality, these separate characters like the sniper and whatnot. If they do something like that, like an offshoot of the Spartans, you could probably make a good show. And if they had a good budget, also could be very good.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah,
need
how
good
much money
writing
are they gonna throw at it?
and a
Yeah.
budget and
Very
maybe it'll be
interesting
good.
choice. Very interesting choice.
like if AMC was making it, I'd totally give it a try.
yeah, exactly.
But
Well,
this is Xbox first, like.
Frank Darabont gets directed.
And
the
how
first
long
couple
of a
episodes.
chance do they give it? It's a video game TV show
What I would-
that's exclusive to a console. After 3 of them, if no one's watching, they just go, "Oh, fuck it,
Yeah.
we're done."
I would
Yeah, I
want
don't
to
know
watch
how
a
they're gonna
show
play
if
that out.
Remedy made a TV show.
Oh, dude.
If they made a show, I would watch that right
Well,
now.
that's why the new game's just
Yeah.
going to be just
There we go.
basically
They
a
don't
TV
know.
show
They
you
should
play.
just not make games. Just make TV shows. I will watch TV shows.
Remedy Xbox exclusive.
Yeah.
That was. I was
talk
very
about that.
down on this on Twitter. I was down on this thing, and then the second they go, we've got a bunch of studios. They're working on games. I was like, are they going to show a fucking Fable game? I'm gonna fucking I'm gonna shit myself right now if they show a stupid Fable game. Not a Fable fan. I apologize if you guys are.
The first one's
And then
okay.
they talk about Remedy, and I was like, oh, okay, you got my attention. Then they show a new Remedy game, and they actually showed some stuff involved in it, and that was the most, I guess, positive I was the whole time about the thing.
little confusing. Now there was live action jumping back and forth into.
They love
3D graphics?
live action though.
Yeah.
So is that going to
that's
be?
Remedy's thing.
So that's real. That's not part of like a teaser trailer. That's going to be part
I
of the
have
game.
a feeling their cutscenes
Yeah.
are going to be the jump between live action and gameplay.
Because the quality of the live action, it seemed like a. Okay, it seemed like
Iffy.
Lifetime-esque.
The little kid
Rush
wasn't a good actor,
of-
but you could tell that way
Right?
he was trying.
But that's kid acting.
Yeah.
Like, there's 3 good kid actors.
Yeah.
And they grew up.
Yeah.
And they're all on drugs right now.
I don't know what happened to Haley Joel Osment, but
Oh, dude, have you seen him? He's ripped. He's
Oh,
gonna
is
be
it
in.
on,
He's gonna be in some
Sunny in
indie
Philadelphia?
movie.
Did he lose all the weight after Sunny
Yeah,
in
he
Philadelphia?
lost it all.
Okay, good.
Oh, so yeah, I feel like he was huge, but
Yeah, no, yeah, he
not
lost
ripped.
it all. He's ripped
Good for
now. He's
him.
gonna be
Good
in
for
some indie movie. He's been running around shelling out. Looks like shit. He looks great though.
Signs.
All right, perfect. All right.
Signs?
No, Sixth Sense.
Come on,
Jesus.
man.
Oh, were you guys Unbreakable, Mr. Glass?
Bro, it's hot in here.
I like Unbreakable.
No, I genuinely
like
do.
it. I like
I said it
Unbreakable too.
sarcastically in case you guys didn't.
I mean,
First couple, yeah.
I won't watch
Filling out
M.
the
Night
room.
movies anymore because he ruined the world, but his older 2 are great.
I like the older
Did you
two.
guys watch the elevator one?
No, he didn't. He just co-wrote that. I think he didn't do
Oh,
anything.
Produced it
whatever.
or something.
Do you want to know the twist?
But after Last
actually-
Airbender,
no, but okay.
I'm done with him.
I didn't. I avoided that one.
The devil in the elevator?
Yeah, the
Devil, that's
the
what-
devil's the
Yeah,
grandma that you don't expect. They go out of their way to make
Spoiler.
sure you don't think it's her.
Spoiler alert.
No one cares. I was like, I haven't even heard of this movie.
I almost I forgot it came out. So
Well, we're gonna watch the new one.
Xbox.
We're gonna watch the new one coming out with Will
Xbox
Smith
event.
and his son, if you want.
yeah.
That was written by Gary Whitta.
Oh, After Earth?
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. About
I'm not
that
interested
movie.
in that one at all. No
Okay, but
offense to Gary.
I
it's
like
just-
it until he's on the planet and there's just big stupid looking animals running around. I was like, never mind.
I liked it until I found out Will Smith is involved, and then I found out M. Night was involved. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. And then the icing on the cake.
Not
Will
a good
Smith's
combo for you.
Son, starring.
Will Smith,
done.
he had he had a couple good movies in a row, but he's done. We're over it.
Well, I was thinking it might be good since Shyamalan, he's just producing, right? Or
But
is
he's
he just
directing it.
Yeah, he's right.
He's right.
But if you notice,
But I like
They
Witta.
haven't really
I
said
think
a
Witta's
name at all.
good.
this is the first M. Night movie that doesn't say
M. Night
on
Shyamalan.
M. Night Shyamalan
Strategically.
movie.
Exactly.
I don't know how this guy keeps
Which is
finding,
smart.
finding money.
I don't know either. Like, who the hell? Like,
Did you guys see? Are you guys fans of Avatar? The cartoon?
I love the cartoon. Cartoon's
How
so
bad
good.
was that?
I
Fucking
know-
movie,
Oh my
dude?
god!
How bad was that goddamn movie?
You know, it was. I have
It
no
was so
emotional.
bad.
The intro alone, you're like, what high school is putting this play on? Because it's so bad.
Even just the names, like
Oh my-
he pronounces every single name incorrectly. He's making an
God.
adaptation of something for his children who are fans, and he's like, yeah, but let's change the names and everything else.
I like how they got the guy from the Daily Show as the villain. It's kind of like
I know.
it's like this guy's total comic relief. I
And
can't
then-
take him seriously.
They totally whitewashed that movie too.
Yeah.
The
Fucking
Eskimos
Common
were
theme.
clearly not Eskimo.
Little, yeah, that was.
But that's not even okay. Here,
The
the worst,
Asians
part,
were all
painful.
Indians.
the worst part of that movie, by far. I know this is on a tangent, but we have to go there for just a second.
It's all right.
Okay.
The Earthbenders who move Earth are in a prison,
Yeah.
surrounded by stones.
Yeah, at least
and they
it-
can't get out.
At least in the show,
Until
it makes
they
sense
tell 'em.
because they're out on like
They're on
a.
a metal island
in
in
the
the
middle of an
cartoon.
ocean.
And in they are
Well, and then when they
surrounded.
use the Earth, they do this big elaborate dance and a couple fucking pebbles
Yeah.
raised off the ground, and they're like, oh,
Oh my god, it's so bad. Sorry.
fucking
sorry.
don't even. Ugh.
I've never seen it, so I'm not going to see
No,
it.
So fucking
it's one of the
bad.
movies. It's on Netflix. Probably get a bottle of tequila and watch it.
Finish the bottle of
Hey.
tequila and then watch it.
Bad movie night one day, maybe. Because
I'm
I
down
mean,
for that.
the cartoon is it's a good cartoon.
I think it's
right?
it's
remarkable.
fabulous.
I think
Awesome
it's
storytelling.
remarkable.
The new, I like the new one too.
How do you fuck that up? I mean, how do
You give it to M Night.
right?
Yeah, apparently. Like, what's the point of adapting something if you're just gonna go? You know what? That's good enough to make a movie based on it. But you know what I should do? Change every single thing about it,
Yeah.
and then release it.
And you think M Night would, if anybody knows about whitewashing, you think he'd be a little sensitive about that?
You right?
So,
With
right?
the-
I mean, he's-
Yeah.
there was some vitriol, there was some backlash.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Yeah,
video
yeah.
game show.
Yeah, so back to the-
Xbox. In conclusion, gentlemen,
I
positive event. You think?
again, it's the first thing I said, but it's hard to judge this because they didn't really show me almost anything, and so. I mean, what it really means is E3 is you make or break.
That's-
this is
yeah.
the biggest E3 that
Yeah.
they
Which-
really have to kill it at E3 to
I'm kind of
make up
glad.
for this.
I'm kind of glad that there's a nugget at E3 that we're going to wait and see because
But we were already. I mean, that's the problem. We were
Yeah,
already going to
exactly.
see big announcements. Now they just have to show like the biggest announcements, and that's not a good position to be in. Like PS3 had a 2.5-hour event way beforehand, and now they have E3. Microsoft essentially threw an hour away told us maybe
Wasted some money?
7 minutes of actual information, and now they only have an hour at E3 as well. So they're playing so far from behind. It's just, I don't know, it's not smart.
Mass market move. It has to be a mass market move because a lot of money goes into something like this.
It was a bad idea. Don't put your
very
thing on TV.
calculated. Maybe it wasn't for us. Maybe it wasn't.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. The second they decided to show it on Spike, regardless of what time, it was no longer for us.
Nope.
Percy?
Well, we have such all the TV shit they kept throwing out in the sports, the NFL, the it's all ESPN'd out. So I mean, just it wasn't for us. It wasn't for the hardcore gamer. I'm not sure if any of us really are, whatever. But if you like that term. But I mean, like I said, I feel the same way. I don't think it was for us. I'm not even an Xbox guy, but I still wanted hope and be like, hey, I might pick that up.
I wanted to be proven wrong. I had been saying for a while.
That's what I wanted to do.
I don't know what they can do or say, and I wanted badly to be proven wrong, and it sort of bummed me out that I didn't.
But I mean, Xbox 360 going in, last generation, they kind of have the mind share, right? As far as right,
they're like Sony was
less.
coming out of the PS2. They think they're invincible.
Where are we at now? Is PS4 looking good?
PS4's been looking good, but it looks a hell of a lot better now.
Yeah.
And can we also all agree that the PS4 has a better name?
The Xbox, it's hard. No one's going to be calling it the
it's
Xbox
They're
One
not
in
gonna
like
call
a
anything
year
else.
anyway.
Come on.
Mechanical. How mechanical? Well, big
It's
surprise,
the
PS4.
PlayStation.
They should have won PlayStation 64. I would buy it right now if it was called PlayStation 64.
That'd be awesome.
I don't know.
I think I don't think it's fair to judge them yet. It's easy to judge them right now, but I don't think it's 100% fair until E3. After E3,
that's what's gonna be
because honestly, that's really their big. Outside of maybe, I don't know if they're even going to go to Tokyo Game Show or They'll probably be at Gamescom just because they have a new system they have to. But this is the big showcase for them before they essentially sell the system. Normally, you have 2 years worth. They have one show to sell us on it. It has to be big, and I feel like it will be fair to judge them after this.
And they have to sell to Japan.
Yeah.
'cause
Well,
PlayStation is still wrecking in
good
Japan.
luck.
So this is their opportunity to actually get a foothold.
And it's
finally.
not very often that
I don't know, man.
PlayStation and Xbox release so close together because they're both coming this holiday season.
Yeah, they're probably
they're
going to
be
apart.
they're going to be within a couple weeks.
This-
of each other.
I can't
It's
wait
gonna
for
be a
this.
war.
This is a nice battle going on.
'Cause I mean-
it's nice.
It's fun. I miss this.
Oh yeah, this is awesome.
Where are you guys at right now? If you guys have to choose, seems like it's pretty obvious, but I'm 11.
I really don't
I don't
have an opinion, to be honest, because what I want to see is more original games. Like, I like some classic ones, but I'm kind of over like the serial stuff. I want something different and new. Like, I played Infamous. I like Infamous. I'm done with Infamous.
Yeah.
Uncharted. I get it. It's great. It's over. We don't need any more Nathan Drake.
Yeah. No more Assassin's Creed?
No
more Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed is just stop making
Milk
that
it.
game.
It's-
You
well,
made
you know-
the same game.
You know what I kind of like about 4 is it doesn't look like Assassin's Creed. It looks like it completely. It's like I almost feel like they had a pirate game and they're like, how the fuck are we supposed to sell this? And then they go, oh, we'll just put
Put
Assassin's
on them
Creed
and we're ready to go.
So I'm almost interested in 4 just because it doesn't seem like it was supposed to be an Assassin's Creed game to begin with.
Yeah. Now, did the Vita spin-off game come out yet? Because I saw
Liberation?
Yeah, that came out.
Yeah,
that launched with 3, which was one of the worst games.
Okay. Because
So bad.
Pirates, right?
Really?
That's not the same.
I've
rules.
heard a
3
lot
was-
of. Oh, not
3
three.
was
I'm talking about Liberation.
Oh no, Liberation was actually
Yeah, I've heard
alright.
people are digging
3
Liberation.
just in
3
general.
was-
3 was. So
I haven't played it yet, so
No, don't hurry. Don't hurry.
I'm in no rush. Don't worry.
You should go play Blaster Master on the NES.
I do
love
got
that
it. I
game,
think I
dude.
will.
Get to that first.
Yeah.
But honestly, right now I'm just still in the middle road. Like,
So neutral.
I'm neutral. I could go either way. If the E3 has some really amazing things that's unique to that system, like the biggest thing I think that Xbox has is, unlike the current Xbox, like I love the partying system. If your friends are online, easy to connect, easy to start talking, easy to start playing. PlayStation is not as easy because not everybody has headphones, like the microphone and everything.
Right.
So if they can make it convenient and fast as it is right now, then I would go Xbox. But if PlayStation can do that, and the same thing goes with, it depends on what my friends get, because I don't want to get something and then all my friends get something else and not be able to play with them, because I like to play together with my
That makes
friends.
a big deal.
Yeah.
It
So,
does.
and I'm not a person who's like, oh my god, PlayStation all the way, or oh my god, Xbox all the way. But
It's safe to say we like games, right?
I
Just
love
want to
games.
play good games.
And I just like playing
Access
with
to
people. I
games.
enjoy playing with people that I'm friends with.
Yeah.
And that's what makes games more fun to me. Like playing with someone random, okay, that's cool. But when you have a connection with someone and you're like, well, we're doing something. We took this base together and we wouldn't be able to do it if we weren't in sync because we knew exactly what we were thinking.
Yeah.
Then I don't know if you can get that connection. That's what I would do. Like
yeah.
great.
I'm a giant fucking idiot, and I have to buy consoles as soon as they come out. I know it's bad. I know it's not a good thing to do. I constantly do it. the only reason I didn't do it with the Wii U, even though I thought it looked awful, I was like, I want to buy one. I
Yeah.
wish I was in line, and I was jealous of people. And
There's something opening that box, new
it's-
plastic
being
smell.
a part of the zeitgeist
That
of getting a
feeling.
new system when it comes out is really, really satisfying to me, and I can't help it. And I know I'm going to buy one of these systems at launch. And if gun to my head right now, I mean, clearly I would go PS4. But after E3, I'm gonna give Microsoft time. To be fair, they've been losing me. They've been losing me the last couple of years. They've changed their minds about they don't give a shit about games. They clearly want to be an entertainment first system.
Family.
Even their exclusives have been dwindling away. To be fair, the 360 functionally, like their network stuff has always been pretty great, but that system itself was a big piece. It was like a trash can that you could put games in, and somehow they worked on your TV. And I don't like that stuff. They overcharge for accessories. They do a lot of bad stuff, but they're what you actually functionally play was always really solid, and that stopped happening, and that's slowly pushing me away. And so they're gonna have to win me back, or else I think I might start with the PS4. Now I just said I'm gonna get them all. I know I will. That's
Eventually.
how I am. But I think I'm going to start with the PS4.
Because I mean, they shot themselves in the foot. Absolutely no backwards compatibility. So everybody, whether you're Xbox 360 player, PlayStation, you're kind of starting from square zero. So it's a fresh restart.
That's one of the reasons I like my Vita, is because when there were no games, I could go back and play some of the good PS1 and PSP games, and it kind of kept me into going, I like this system, I just wish there were games. Oh well, at least there's some old shit that keeps it in my pocket, keeps it in my backpack. It keeps me thinking about it.
Have the prices been revealed for either one of them yet? Do we know how much they're going to be? Are we expecting?
There's no way it's more than
We're going to say
$3.99.
Are they going to
not
be
the original $5.99.99?
It has to be
way.
under $500. Or else no.
I think it has to be under.
What are you guys
I think
talking
it has
about?
to be 400 or less.
Are you guys just talking about in general for both?
Yeah, for both. I don't.
They have to be the same.
I bet it's over $400 easily.
There's no way they can do that.
But they can't go over 500 though.
These are hard times.
To get a computer to do what they do
Exactly.
with that specs is going to be.
But everyone goes.
least
But they
$700.
always go in though. They're always going losing money.
Yeah,
So,
Nintendo's the only one that ever makes a profit.
Exactly.
Right
I mean,
off the bat, and
they're
you
going
see
to
what
make
they
the
have
money
to do.
back eventually. But it's just everyone goes in losing money. So.
I think it has to be $3.99 or less. It has to be. And knowing Microsoft, did you see
Now-
what they
Do you
did
think
with
they're
that
going to wait
weird...
till one or the other announces it, and then we're like, okay, then we're confident with our amount?
I'm curious who pulls the trigger first.
Yeah.
Because
It's
I,
gonna be
I
interesting.
bet it's going to be Xbox. They're going to tell you first what it's going to be.
I think it's going to be them too, because I think they're going to do the. Did you see the subsidized thing they did
Yes.
with the $99
yeah,
system
yeah.
that you pay for Xbox Live over 2 years? I think they're going to do something like that to make their price look a lot lower, maybe a $250 with that, or a.
Because I was going to say, is there going to be like a tiered system? Is there going to be like a light for
No,
these, or is there going to be one
The
model?
Xbox is only the new
One
one's
set,
only
500 gig,
only
right?
500 gigs is what they.
Which is interesting that they said that
Yeah.
initially, because normally they hold off on your hard drive till way late because they can
Yeah.
change that like anytime they want. So I was surprised they actually addressed that. But I think that Microsoft will pull the trigger first, and it's because they're going to have a weird subsidized price.
Yeah.
And that's going to be their hope.
That
That for the same reason people get confused for dumb things like the name, people are also going to buy into the fact like, oh, it's only $250. The PS3 is $399. They don't realize that they're spending more than they would over time. But that's how I am with my phones. I know I'm spending more, but I don't want to buy a $600 phone, so I buy a $99 phone or get a free phone and then sign a contract. I know it's stupid, but I do it because I have to. And I think people will do the same thing with an Xbox.
Yeah.
Oof.
You're shaking your head, Percy. They can't see you shake your head.
Oh,
The
sorry.
listeners.
I
You don't agree?
was shaking his head over the phone thing. I'm like, why? Why?
Well, in fairness, keep in mind, I also I don't plan on canceling my phone anytime soon, and I keep getting the free one. Every time an iPhone gets free, I get the new free iPhone. So I'm not like the guy that's like, oh, $600, I'll spend $250. Thank you.
You need to upgrade to get the 5, get the marginally bigger screen.
Yeah, I'm good with my 4.
It's necessary. Yeah, so in conclusion, it's going to come down to price. I think it should be parallel. We'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we didn't really discuss. Where are you going to go?
I don't know
Go
yet.
Xbox.
Gun
Let's
to
be
your
honest.
head.
Don't put fucking
Why
words.
are we-
Don't put words in my mouth, bro.
Why are we
Don't
debating
fucking-
this?
Don't put words in my mouth. See, I am a gamer, Ian. I have both. I have PS2. I have Xbox. I have
But you
PS1.
don't have PS3.
Percy, do you own anything Microsoft? I have to
no.
throw- See, I'm open, bro. I'm open. I just bought in. I think that 360 showed industry leadership, handled themselves well last generation. Good product.
Do you have a 3DO?
Meh. No.
You
wish.
got a
Oh my
Wonder
God.
Swan color?
You got a Jaguar back there?
Neo Geo.
Neo Geo Pocket Color.
Wonder Swan. Do you have a Wonder Swan?
No.
A TurboGrafx Express?
I do have a Game Gear though.
Okay.
Whatever that means. Screeching halt. Screeching halt.
Don't worry, we're just naming obscure systems.
Milked is pretty much dry. I mean, I didn't expect too much out of this, so I wasn't too, too let down. Generally impressed with the system. I think it looks, like a high-end piece of machinery. Hopefully they address any of the manufacturing. Red Ring, get that thing of the past.
That would be nice, right?
Nice
Buy
first
a
launch.
system that works.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd
It
be
seems
awesome.
like
I would love to buy a system from
Yeah.
them that I don't have to buy another one of in 4 months.
Also, if you notice, with the new Xbox looks a lot like how the new PlayStation 3 setup, with the tray on the left side. But
Yeah.
there's no tray. You actually just push it in, which they should have done in the first
Yeah.
point, because that's what breaks your Xbox all the time, is opening it up. Thank God they decided that.
I was really
Yeah.
happy to see that.
Smartest decision they probably made.
controller looks good.
Design-wise, it's hard until that thing's just sitting in your room. It's hard to make real ideas about that. But there is stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's nice in theory.
Going down to just raw gaming, I mean, I kind of prefer the 360 style controller over the PlayStation controller. So.
I think most people do.
Yeah, I agree.
So I mean, if it's a lot of the games are going to be parallel as far as multi-platform.
Except for fighting games.
Except for fighting
Yeah. Oh
games.
no.
Exactly.
Well, you need a
cannot-
D-pad.
Yeah.
Oh, the
D-pad.
D-pad. The
D-pad
D-pad on
looks
the new
good.
360 controller. I was like,
Looks usable.
If I ever am forced to play a fighting game on the 360,
You can do it now.
I might actually be able to do it.
But
that's
if
something
you
positive.
guys are actually really playing fighting games, you probably have
You
a
wanna do-
fight
yeah.
stick. So
I
Get the fuck out.
I tried to use a stick a million times.
I'm terrible.
just
I-
keep going.
Terrible.
Dude, I bought one. I bought a super expensive custom one. I
like
played with it
150
for it.
probably
Are you
around?
kidding me? $350.
Who the fuck
Super
did you buy that
custom.
from?
Because I wanted incentive.
Did you
Right.
bend
It's
over?
There you go. The buy-in,
I,
high
I
buy-in.
wanted
the high-end
a lot
Mad
of
Cats.
it had the LEDs and shit in it. It was super crazy custom because I wanted. I was like, no, I have to learn how to use a stick. I can only play fighting games at home. Every time I go and I play out in arcades, I know this is gonna sound dumb. It's super inside. I was super good at Alpha 3 and super good at Capcom vs SNK, but only when I'm at my house. And when I play
When
against
you're by
people,
yourself.
when I'm at Evo and they've
No
got
one's around.
cabinets set
Uneasy.
up, or when I'm at a fucking anime convention or something and they've got cabinets set up, or
Fuck
anywhere
you up.
without a controller, I look like I'm like, oh, what's this? A joystick? Oh, and like I've never fucking touched the game before, and it drives me goddamn crazy. I'm like, oh, I'll throw a fireball. Oh, I jump backwards. Okay.
I'm terrible with the joystick.
It just
too.
takes practice.
I
I felt the same way.
terrible.
Like I bought Mad Cats for like $150 whatever. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna fucking finally get a stick and play. And I spent like 2 weeks like fuck this, and threw it away. And I started playing fucking pad. And then a friend of mine got one, and he started playing with it. I'm like, maybe I should fucking rock it. I just jumped back into it, and I just stopped even wanting to think about using the pad. And it's just I've never looked back. And it's just the way to go.
I've tried way too many times. I think if I was gonna
It's
if
so
it
much
was gonna
better.
click for me, it would by now.
I think what sealed the
I
deal
get it.
for me was Super Nintendo Street Fighter 2 on Super Nintendo. You get so used to that controller that you're like, I don't know how you use it. How do you hold this?
Plus, I've been
How
playing way too long without
Yeah.
a stick to ever
Wrap your mind
to
around.
like. I've been just playing too long. It'd be like if one day they're like, oh, water's bad for you. Have you been drinking water? Oh, you can't do that. You'd be like, yeah, I can. Fuck
Well,
you.
I don't know.
And you just
I-
keep drinking water.
I was just in the mindset of like always like when you're in the arcade and playing other people just randomly, fucking putting your quarters up and saying I'm next,
I would love to be able
And
to do that.
Did you guys ever do that back?
I actually did that recently, and they had no idea what we were doing.
Oh, you put the quarters there. Like,
My phone went-
hey, this guy just gave me quarters.
we were at a barcade, and
Oh, wow.
we put 2 quarters down, looked them in the eye, then walked away, and they had no idea. And then we went back, and our quarters were gone. I'm like,
Did they think you were giving them a tip?
I don't
That's
know.
fucking assholes.
So I was like, oh, thanks, guys.
Jesus, learn.
Fucking kids today. swear to
Arcade
God.
etiquette. They don't have it though.
Yeah, learn the
Well,
etiquette.
Well, they
Come
don't
on.
know. Come on.
Is GameWorks still open?
It's
Like,
reopening.
Is it
Oh, it is?
reopening?
They're
Wow.
putting it back in town center.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
It's gonna
Because-
have they said no broke ass machines. Everything that's coming back,
Dude,
you're gonna have
that
old
was-
stuff, but it's
Wait.
all gonna be
The
completely
worst.
revamped.
I'm gonna assume
a bowling alley, a laser tag thing, and the full arcade.
If it
Are
doesn't
they-
have Time Crisis 2 with one broken screen that's slightly out of color, I can't play it.
Well, don't worry. I'm sure 3 weeks later you'll have exactly what you want.
Yes.
Yeah.
But no,
Second controller's
they're
the
bringing
law.
it back. I'm super psyched.
Yeah,
Must
every
be
time
nice.
I've gone to GameWorks, at least half the games are broken.
Yeah,
Everything's
time.
broken.
And that's well. There's been stuff that was honestly been there since. Were you guys around back when they had that big motion Tekken room?
Yeah, I remember
No,
that thing.
no.
Yeah.
my God, really?
It-
Okay, back early GameWorks, they had this giant white room, probably call where Dean's desk is to the door, probably to about the bed.
Okay, well,
say how big that
what is that? Like,
They're not in the room.
Oh, for people that are
Yeah,
here, I don't know, like
Yeah.
10 by
Check the
12.
Facebook page.
10 by
I'm gonna
12.
Put a photo of my
I don't
room
know,
up.
man. It's a big ass.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
the size of someone's kitchen, I guess. I
Yeah.
don't know. and it was all
I
white.
see.
Not in an apartment
Yeah,
kitchen.
It was all white with grids on it, and there you stand in the with these sensors above and below you.
Because it was like the
Yeah.
Genesis.
Yeah, kind of like that
style thing.
shitty Genesis
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
that was on the floor, but a little more advanced. And they had Tekken 2, I think, playing, and you could control it by punching and kicking.
That's fucking
but
cool.
not really. I
Yeah.
mean,
Well,
it was
that's-
more
that's
you
good.
just see people that don't know anything, and there's like, and someone eventually wins, but it was freaking crazy.
After it was fun though.
Yeah, I loved that.
What does the new GameWare's gonna have like a bar or anything?
I mean, the old one
got
did.
it.
The old one had 2 bars in it. So I'm
I'm
sure
down to
on the
go.
bar.
I just didn't like the card fucking thing they had.
Oh, yeah.
Wow,
Card
I
system.
love that. Are you kidding me?
I am,
Load 'em
no,
up.
I'm not.
3 hours for $20?
I don't know. I was gonna get into GameWorks.
Just stick a gun in my dick hole and shoot me, and I'll. That's how excited I am.
What?
Yeah, I mean, that don't even make sense. I'm so
No.
excited.
It's either a really tiny gun or
Not much damage on the blast out of it.
Probably
no,
the China.
it's soon too. I think it's November. It's opening.
Oh damn.
Yeah,
Sweet.
it's super
Wow.
soon.
GameWorks, Wet and Wild. We're getting it back, Vegas. Childhood's
I
coming
hate,
back.
I
right?
hate it.
Yeah, no thanks.
Water
no,
parks.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah.
refuse.
You guys don't like the
Meh.
the smell of urine and feet.
No, that's
Nice
not. It
warm
doesn't. It's
summer
the fact
day.
that you're going to be swimming in other people's cum,
What?
shit, and
You don't like
piss.
swimming in other people's cum?
It's so like, I can't believe people do not realize how dirty public pools really are. They
Well,
are
amazing-
so gross.
And you're not just swimming in
Amazing.
it. You're standing in line for like 25
Yeah.
minutes
To
swim in
get
it.
into it. Yeah.
There was a couple good summers early on with Wet and Wild, but yeah.
Yeah, when you're young and don't know about
Life.
hygiene,
Yeah.
you're
Germs.
like, whatever.
Yeah. Well, the
Someone
word
dropped chocolate into the pool. Yeah, they totally dropped chocolate.
Well, you know what's even worse is like the tourists. But they're
Oh
like,
my
we don't
God.
give a fuck.
Oh my God.
You know,
Yeah.
they'll take
Yeah.
a dump, piss all over like you're saying. So they don't give a shit. We're only
Take
here for
a dump.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're here
It was
for a
always-
day and they're out, so they don't give a fuck.
It was always curious when someone got in on the lazy river and just immediately got on the exit right after. They're like,
I think, yeah.
Did you just have
Late.
diarrhea in the lazy river, sir?
Why?
You caught me.
Exactly. They just get in, just
What they need to do.
and then leave, and you're like,
Yes.
oh fuck.
I don't know if you guys were when you were kids. You ever got the wise tale of like if you pee in this pool, it has this color.
Yeah, the
thing, it'll
color?
turn blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should really do that.
wow.
It'd be such
You,
a good
you,
invention.
him, he's got
It
it
stopped me-
beat. Ah.
It
I
stopped
take it-
me for 5 years of my life from pissing in pools.
They
Yeah.
should totally do that. Only 5 years, huh?
And eventually I got wise to it. I'm like, you know what? I need to come right now.
The statute of limitations.
Okay,
is up.
so what? So purple's gonna be pee, and then
Yeah,
what? Red.
purple is pee, and then green is cum. It's
Cum,
like,
yeah.
It's like, it looks like you're in a swamp.
Glob of it.
I mean, I'm sure a big pee. Okay, come. Oh, get away
no.
from. God.
Best
Speaking of,
episode.
All right, so back.
Relieving yourself. I think we're gonna relieve ourselves of this segment.
Okay.
Segment 2.
Good one.
So, all right, you're staying.
He's going back to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back. We never answered. So,
What are we talking about?
I give
if
it
you're,
a,
he,
Am I?
oh well,
Thumbs
if
up
you're
or
gonna,
So
no?
am
yeah,
I gonna
you're
go in
gonna
the
go
lazy
with.
river? I might go in it.
Yes.
Like it's good for your skin, man. It's
Okay.
the nutrients, bro. Xbox or PS4?
right now, you have to.
Yeah, just.
In one of my hands is a knife, and in the other hand is your dick, and you know what's about to happen. Hurry,
I don't
Dean,
know.
shoes. Hurry, I'm about to do it, Dean.
I'm gonna take my time. And see
They're
where
gonna
this
cut
goes.
Brent or jerk you off.
Oh no! I'm taking this home.
So,
Um,
you with Ian? Neutral for now.
I'm kind of neutral. I'm
Well, I
with
don't
the
blame
gun. Yeah, there's
I'm,
nothing.
technically, I'm kind of neutral because I don't know enough about the
I think they're
Xbox
just too
yet.
similar.
Well, you're
right
gonna
now,
buy them
so
both anyway.
Yeah.
So.
just do anything.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I mean, it comes down to, for me, controller, Xbox multiplayer service, or just multiplayer service in general, and just exclusives. So time will tell. E3.
I think E3 is gonna be the big thing for
touch it,
everybody.
but it's
for
safe to assume-
everybody though.
It's
so.
especially important for them.
I
Well,
think
especially fucking Xbox.
the hype
so.
that we're getting already, I think most people are going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
I just there's no way they're going to be able to
Yeah, they can't
be
live
as
up
big
to
as they say right now. It's just it's not humanly possible.
I had no expectations for today, and
You
I
think
was
they're kind of like beginning PS3 and Xbox 360? They're kind of taking a switch, so it's like Sony's trying to come up, and then
They're both going to try to win over it because they have to win them over.
Oh, yeah.
And
It's-
everyone's expectation is so high right now.
It's kind of
Dude, it's
crazy.
just,
I don't
you're
know.
Not gonna be able to, you're not going to be able to compare
think-
or compete. It's
did,
just not going to be able to.
360. Did they kind of screw themselves? They should have came out first. Maybe they had that year. They had that year or so advantage on PS3. It really
Well,
helped them.
I don't
360
know
did
about
come out.
that, but I think they should have revealed earlier,
'Cause it seemed
closer
like-
to Sony's, and they should have had a longer reveal.
Because it seems like they got an artificial life out of Kinect. They got like an extra year or two out of it.
Yeah.
So
Honestly,
maybe- I
yeah,
don't
that's
know.
a good point. Without Kinect, I think they probably would have popped out earlier.
And then,
I forgot to mention with the new Kinect, we can finally see more videos on YouTube
Yes.
of people slapping their kids in higher quality now. That's what I can't wait for. Oh my god,
Is that a thing? Is
Oh
that
my
a
god,
thing?
all the time.
Oh,
People,
yeah.
people slap,
No one remembers
not
that thing's
purposely,
on.
I
but
gotta
they
check it out.
slap the shit
That
out
scares-
of their kids.
that
And
scares
it's
the shit
hilarious
out of
every
me,
time.
man.
And what I really can't wait for is when
So
they actually start selling the system and the people are waiting in line, and then you get the reports of people getting robbed and stabbed in line. That's what I'm waiting for, just to see the chaos.
I'm really waiting for that too.
Well, so
It's
technically,
hilarious.
Really excited for
this
that.
is kind of good news.
hilarious.
Kind
Gotcha.
of good news. You can't steal systems anymore. If you steal an Xbox One, some thief hooks it up, Xbox Kinect camera right in their face.
No, you can still steal it, but you can't play all of their games.
Ethernet. I mean, kind of like the Apple. You can kind of see. Maybe you can kind of like. I don't know.
There's going to be better security though. That
I'm
is a
reaching.
plus.
Yeah,
That is a plus.
definitely be.
And
I'm
the guy will be
raging.
like, "Oh no, not my Xbox One," and then he'll just go to sleep and feel fine.
Or the thief will come in, and then it's like a theft deterrent because they're like, "Fuck, Xbox One. Where's that?"
And he'll steal the guy's shoes, but like, "Damn it, this is a waste of my time."
This segment is over.
Well, as for me, it's probably pretty obvious for me. I'm gonna go with PS4. But I mean, I wanted to.
Are you honestly entertaining the thought of Xbox, or are you just?
Well, I was until.
you're not.
No,
Come
I
on.
was.
We're friends here,
want,
bro.
No,
This
I
is a-
am. But I wanted
This
to
is
be
a
open.
Truthful environment here.
Okay, well,
yes,
I
sir.
wanted to
Yes,
be like, I wanted to like whatever Xbox One, right? When it came out, and everything they showed today, I was just like, ugh.
It took me 4 episodes, but I finally got you subconsciously referring to PlayStation as Wii. But it took a while.
Oh, whatever. Well, whatever.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick.
I'm
with
excited
Sony.
for both. I don't know. Actually, to be honest, completely honest, as a gamer, I'm actually genuinely excited to get a PS3 and experience that because I have it. So,
Rock and roll. I
might
mean,
not be a popular choice, but
I could possibly
behind.
still get an Xbox One later on, just
There's some
depending
good
on the
shit.
games now. For
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm gonna get one eventually.
no.
There's no way it's the Wii U right now, and it just you're like, it's been out for a long time. Where is a game for me to play? There's no way. There's no way.
Wii U's almost a year, right? How long has that thing been out for?
I don't know,
Almost-
but they have 4 games, I think, maybe
Yeah.
5.
Are you kidding? Jesus.
Like, they have
It's
a
grim.
lot of crap.
They've had
a
2
lot of crap and a couple good games.
They've had 2 months so far in
Zombie
this
U's like the
quarter
best
where
game.
actually no video games got released on their system.
Ow.
But
They've also had a month period of time where they didn't have any first party titles, which is kind of that's where their bread's buttered.
But at
Yeah.
the same time, Nintendo's kind of known for doing this.
Yeah,
Like, they
exactly.
Have, they have
Like
slow
Super Nintendo
period.
when they
yeah,
first
they have
came out,
slow
yeah.
periods.
Yeah,
And my
so-
3DS seemed useless for the
Yeah.
first year I had it.
Oh,
Now
yeah.
I like it a lot.
I love
Yeah.
my 3DS now. Yeah.
Yes.
I waited, but I love it. I waited a year, but yeah, 3DS awesome.
I wish I would have waited. The ambassador games are okay, but I mean that thing was useless for a long time, and so. But every
Agreed.
system is system, and that's the thing everyone always forgets. We all have selective memory. You never remember how bad that first 2 years can be.
You don't want to remember how
Doesn't-
bad it was.
I mean, 360 was pretty grim the first year, so it was very
Another
slow
thing that
trickle of games.
we didn't get to touch on is with the new Call of Duty reveal. How many people do you guys think are gonna actually get the new Xbox because they're gonna be able to play the new Call of Duty, or you think they're just gonna stay at the current Xbox and just continue playing whatever and buy the new one anyway?
I'm curious about that too because I mean, obviously it's going to be on both.
Yeah.
And I mean, they talked about the DLC thing, but at this point, isn't that kind of more of a corporate victory? Like, we
Yeah,
get
I
DLC
guess totally
first.
corporate.
Yeah.
Consumers
It
really
is.
don't care about
But-
that anymore.
Yeah, I know exactly.
And if it's on one Xbox, there's no way it's you get DLC first on the Xbox One, but not the 360. So it's got to be both. So I have a feeling a lot of people are probably going to stick with
Yeah,
360.
I imagine most people, it's not going to be as big turnover as you think, because
Yeah.
there's really no reason to do it. I mean, if it was an exclusive, like, the only way you can get this Call of Duty is get
Yeah.
PS3 or Xbox
You could
360,
only-
that would be a genius.
Yeah.
But being how it's coming at the end of this cycle, and the end of this year is going to be for the regular systems too, they can't make exclusive games, so either this is going to be the last time, this is going to probably be the last time they do it.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be that
with
way
the,
next
all
year.
the features, because if they do, the only way they're going to be able to do it is get rid of some of the features in the non-high-end versions. It's the only way you can turn over. Because the people who only play, like, there's tons of people who just play Call of Duty. That's literally
Yeah,
the
that's-
only game they
And it
have.
seems like that's the kind of person that would be excited about most of the features announced today. Maybe.
Possibly.
That's probably why they had the concentration in the way they were, because they need to get those people to switch. Because the
Forza crowd,
hardcore gamer, quote unquote people, they're gonna switch. They're gonna get the new system because they have to get the latest and newest. But the people who have the 1 or 2 games and that's the one they constantly play, that's gonna be tougher sell. Because why spend another $400 some, quote unquote,
To watch TV.
play the same game you're going to play anyway.
Well, you saw how important it was to them. They spent more time on Call of Duty than every other game combined.
Oh yeah, and their faces look amazing.
Yeah, the dirt on the fingernails.
The dog looked legit.
That dog is my hero.
I think the thing that we need to hopefully you can do with the new one, because you're required to have the new Kinect with it. You can see the people while you're playing Call of Duty while they say hateful racist things to you. As long as you can see them and be like, "Hey, you are a racist motherfucker."
Yeah,
They'll start to call me the N-word, and they're like, "Oh, never mind."
Yeah.
And you mean people would stop saying the N-word because they're like, "Oh my God, I can't say that now. You shouldn't say it in the first place, asshole."
So there you go. Subconsciously, it's cleaning it up.
Maybe that's
Exciting
probably the only way
times.
they'll fix it.
Yeah. So, Xbox Live, the horse has been dead and beaten thoroughly.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll be back with some news on the other side of this break, and the longest episode of Dark Side of the Kingdom yet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Indeed. We're going for that. Let's go. And we are back. We are having a good time. Obviously, everybody's laughing. We are back.
Welcome back.
Hour 2. Longest show, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking records. Dark Side of the Kingdom. We have guests this week. We are breaking all kinds of new grounds here.
Yes, we got what's your name? Joe Gamefly.
Joe, Mike Steele, a.k.a. Joe Gamefly.
Yes.
And we got Ian, Spoiler Man, over here.
Let's go with that.
All right, cool.
She dies. Oh, by the way, spoiler. Ian.
Can you believe she dies? Oh, spoiler
Oh,
alert.
God.
Oh, you're supposed to do that first?
Speaking
Wait,
of death.
they're people? They're eating people? Is that what you said?
Is that what it is?
Fuck.
It's really green the whole time.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of death.
Okay.
Similar theme.
Good segue, dude.
Iconic benchmark for gaming, last generation. Online passes. They're dying. EA is killing them off.
Well, EA's
Are
killing them.
they?
Isn't it weird that the irony is they kill off online passes
Yes.
and then Microsoft goes, "Hey, guess what we're basically doing?"
Yeah,
and
exactly.
on a system
And
level now.
it all makes sense now. EA showing their true colors. I don't know. At first, this came out a couple days ago. I was genuinely excited. I don't know. Do you guys? What do you think of online passes as they traditionally are in place?
I typically don't have a problem with it because I normally buy, if it was a game that I really wanted to play online, I would buy it new anyway.
Yeah. I buy them, so it wasn't a big deal. And if I didn't, I understand that that it's not all EA's greed. It's also developers that don't see a dime for a game they worked hard on, and I am okay with supporting something that I love. And so I'm cool with going, you know what, BioWare, I liked you. I rented Mass Effect 3 at first, wanted to play the multiplayer, ended up
Redbox.
buying it, but I'm
Redbox.
okay with that.
See, there's something to be said. You like it, you try it, you buy it.
I gamefly almost all my stuff. I eventually buy them if I like them.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? I like BioWare. I like what they've done for me, and I want to play their multiplayer. And
Yeah.
so I'm fine with this online pass because I know that they're seeing money for something I didn't technically pay for.
Now, I'm not a huge multiplayer gamer, but did you guys feel like an impact on numbers? Say, like, with renting all this kind of streaming of gaming. Typically, when people buy or rent a game, they can kind of jump in right into the multiplayer. Was there like a tangible difference in online community since these have been announced? Or
I don't think so. I never noticed.
I didn't
the
notice
people
anything.
who play the online
They
games,
bought it,
like,
so-
they bought it right away first day because their mom was waiting in line.
makes sense.
And
Exactly.
iffy people, usually they gave you like a 48-hour trial or something.
Yeah.
So if you weren't sure and
Okay.
your mind was changed, you either bought it or you go, oh, well, I didn't want that anyway. So it didn't really change much, to be honest. If people bitched about it, that's about all it changed, is people were complaining constantly.
Yeah. Not as decisive as I thought it would have been, but
Yeah.
no, it seems like the announcement of the Xbox initiative and the used games
Yeah.
initiative makes sense now.
I'm not a big used game person either. Like that's the other thing is I know that used games it sounds stupid. I'm like romanticizing video games, but it's an industry I love. It's something I really like, and used games hurts it. So
It's true.
I'm not going to buy used games. I also have zero interest in selling my games in, like we mentioned earlier. I made a huge mistake.
Percy, get off the chair.
I have
I
a new
think
friend.
we've
I have
all
a new
made that
friend.
mistake.
Come on. I commend you, sir. I feel the
Have
exact
we all
same.
not made the mistake of selling our games at one point? And you
Yes, we
regretting it?
have.
Yeah, but
and immediate shame afterwards.
do
so-
we? At what point do we not own these games? Do we have a right to sell our property? I buy a car.
You have
can
a
I
right
sell
to
a
do
car?
it. Don't. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
no,
not
no, no.
saying-
I gotta feel
It's
guilty
just-
if I fucking not playing a
It's
game.
the
I want to sell
hindsight
it.
thing that you just look back. Like I remember selling my Dreamcast
Understand.
games, and I was just like, why did I do that?
Yeah, exactly.
I
That's
wish-
regret.
Yeah.
My-
More of a-
I wish I could look back and see. I've slowly, because of eBay's and Amazon's and stuff, gotten back stuff I want to go.
Yeah.
I used to have this, and I wish I never got rid of it. But I really wish I still had like my original stuff. Like a lot of the PlayStation games I sold and wish I didn't. I had to get back, and now I have green labels, and I don't want green labels.
Green
I
labels.
want black labels.
Worst.
Isn't it? I have that
Collector's
same
nightmare.
problem, and I hate greatest hits collections for stuff. Like I hate buying those, and you just feel so low when you get one. You're like, this
There
is
was,
the only one.
I
to
don't
get.
know. There was a certain something about the PS1 greatest hits because it was that fucking ugly green.
Yeah.
And the print on the label itself was like it wasn't even full color. It was like a
Yeah.
grayscale thing. It's very cheap. Very
And
cheap.
it looks like it's framed in that weird way. It's like, oh, you have Xenogears? Yeah. Oh, no, you don't. You have greatest hit Xenogears.
Yeah, exactly.
Please clarify which version of Xenogears you
But
have.
it was worse on PS2 because on the disc it's printed greatest hits.
And it's a big red ugly
Yeah, and you're
ass
just like-
and even when it's in a bookshelf, you can tell that it's the
Yeah.
greatest hits
And
one.
when
You
you're
can't trick
impressing
your
all
friends.
those girls, they're like, "Oh, you have that greatest."
Exactly.
You're not
You-
getting laid tonight.
Exactly.
I will say
It's an immediate like asshole labeler. You're just
Yeah.
like, you're a fucking prick.
And it's kind of lame that we are so into that, but it's just I like to have the original.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You should see my bedroom. I take pride in that shit. I got a Japanese Wonder Swan color sitting somewhere.
Wow.
Right below it, I have a shrink wrapped original unopened Japanese Chrono Trigger. Shrink wrapped unopened original Japanese Mario RPG.
And where do you live?
Sweden. And a Japanese shrink wrapped unopened Lufia 2.
Nice.
And where'd you get these on
I
eBay?
started going back and getting some shrink wrap
Well,
stuff.
two of them are originals I got that I had a game store that would sell Japanese.
Imports? Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
some of them are eBay. Some of them are trade shows. Like when I go to conventions, there's a lot of places that have like really good, like cool, obscure shit.
Yeah,
And they don't try to ream you because you're like looking at them in the eyes.
because they care about the game. They don't care about
Yeah.
just the money.
I got weird, obscure systems all over my room. I have weird junk. I have a bookshelf with cool shit on it, and I wish I had more. I would have 9 bookshelves full of cool shit if I didn't sell all of it when I was
Interesting,
a
and-
stupid teenager.
You are a collector and you buy full digital games. Do you? Yeah.
I know a little bit of it is lack of vision. I'm sure later on
Short-sightedness.
I'll hate it, but
Yeah.
it's more probably just going to be a bummer where it's like, hey, remember when there was cool box art? Now there's not anymore. Like it's probably going to be more along the lines of those. I don't think it'll affect me
Yeah.
that much, but there is something about putting something on a shelf. I like putting something on a shelf. But I mean, Steam, like you probably know,
Yeah.
you can go to a GameStop, buy a Steam box, and inside of it is a piece of paper with a Steam code on it. It's really a box just for people that still want to own
Yeah.
a box.
They
And that'll
get-
probably stick around.
That reminds me of something that I was thinking of earlier. That with when you can't re-download your classic stuff and bring them to the new system, what's going to happen to all those games? Is there going to be a way to get back to those games or get them again? Because some of I haven't even got to experience all the classics as they were on PSN or Xbox Live, because there are still great indie games and stuff.
Tons.
Like, is the future for that is all going to be on Steam or something like that?
Well,
Like,
I think
that's
with,
my biggest worry.
well,
with
I
the
think
system.
I think with PS4 you got that Geikie thing going on,
Yeah.
so I think they'll be able to go. They'll figure a way where
I
they
hope
can go
so.
back.
Well, they've even said initially at launch they're not going to have a way to backwards up your digital stuff, but they have some ideas and some solutions, so it's not set in stone.
Yeah, and I think it'll be cool. I mean, they'll figure a way to stream
I
it.
hope
At
they
least
do.
the digital
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Or at least make it available
That's-
later again. Like, say they have like a classic store or something like
Yeah.
that, just so you can get those again. 'Cause
Kind of
They'll
terrifying.
do it. They'll
there's
do it.
great stuff on
How many
there.
games do you have? I have like 50 games since I've had the
That you
Xbox.
downloaded?
Yeah.
I don't have 50, but I have
I got
a
a
lot
lot
of
of fucking
games.
games.
I think I have 100 plus, so I got tons.
So
I
mean,
refuse
don't
to
know.
buy hard drives, so I just have a bunch of flash drives filled with shit, but I have a ton.
I got a 500 gig because I had too many.
Yeah,
Like, I have to
just-
get more of these games. They're just too good.
I was
So
a
most of them
dickhead.
I won't play again, but I have them
Oh,
for
yeah.
Yeah, but-
posterity.
Get
Like,
lost in the
posterity.
ocean of games. that
Like,
you-
I bought the Simpsons arcade game because I loved that when I was a kid, and I beat that in like 20 minutes, and I'm like,
When I have infinite lives, this thing's easy.
right?
when I have 3 other people over, we're gonna play this game.
Yeah.
I've got to keep
Well,
this. You know what I mean?
Do you have it on
Exactly.
Xbox or PlayStation?
I have a PlayStation.
Okay, because on Xbox you can go online and play with people online. Is there?
You
on
can do
You
that
can do
there,
same-
but
No,
when I
same
play
thing.
beat 'em ups, I like to have people in the room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the way to do it. 'cause
That's the
well,
experience.
Couch
that I
co-op
want.
is way more fun
Yeah.
than those. It's
Absolutely.
like Scott Pilgrim too.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know if you guys played that.
I love Scott
Awesome.
Pilgrim.
That was
Yeah.
pretty good. Pretty good. X-Men as well. Very
Oh,
good.
you guys played the 6-player
Resurgence.
X-Men, right? Like the original
Yeah.
6-player one? When I was a kid, I was just so amazed by it. I was just like,
I know.
well, I grew up with, I have 2 other brothers, so most games for like Super Nintendo stuff were only 2 players.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get to play a game that's more than that, you're just amazed. You're like, I can't wait for a time when you can play 6 players at home.
Yeah,
oh my
yeah.
god! And like the only thing that I could do that with like Bomberman and stuff when
Yeah.
for Super Nintendo when you had the boomerang attachment and all that stuff.
I had that for Secret of Mana.
Se-
It's the only
Secret
game
Man?
I ever
Yeah.
used it on.
But
Nice. Secret of Mana.
those were my favorite games when you get to play with people in your room and you're
I think,
a whole bunch of people and you're just yelling at each other at the top of your lungs, but having a blast.
I think that's why like modern multiplayer online gaming really doesn't resonate with me that much, because there's that disconnect a little bit. I don't
The
know.
convenience is good, but you can't. There are things that you don't need that feeling for, but there are the things you definitely want it for. Like the fighting game
games.
thing is convenience because, like, oh, I get to practice, but there's nothing better than the I've got next mentality of a room full of guys playing fighting.
Or just feeling
Fuck
the palpable disgust in the room and just the building up and something there. It's good stuff.
And there's nothing.
Lost for words.
There's nothing like the joy of being yelled at by an 8-year-old using only curse words and racist terms.
Yeah.
Because you shot him in a game that you're supposed to shoot each other with.
Yeah, I think something will be lost not having stuff on shelves. I will miss the fact that I'm 10 years right now. I have a shelf with a Power Glove and a Virtual Boy sitting next to each other, and I think that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Neither of those were even any good, but that's fucking cool. And in 10 years, I'm not gonna have a thing from this era, I assume, to put there to represent that, and that sort of sucks. That's going to be a shame.
I think you were forgetting that the Power Glove is so bad.
Oh, no, I'm saying they're both horrible.
No.
No, it's bad.
From the Wizard, it's
Oh,
so
come
bad.
on.
Yeah.
Good bad. I don't know.
It's so bad.
It's awesome to own them, though. You're like, well,
Now
use it. I don't know. I don't have it to use it. No, I have it to look cool over on that
It's just
shelf.
like a trophy now.
Yeah.
Look at this. I killed
Virtual
this
Boy.
in
Yeah,
the wild.
that's perfect wording. There are no trophies anymore.
Yeah.
Except
No.
if you have a PlayStation 3. But there's no physical trophies anymore to own and go, hey, remember that?
Yeah.
It's like, it's just not, that's gone.
You have
It's gonna suck when people get older and, like you said, the younger generation, they're not gonna have that at all.
Yeah,
Like,
there's not going to be a cool thing to pull out of a box.
Exactly,
And
like-
it's going to be the stuff that you got pulled out of a box for you is still the same stuff you're pulling out of a box for
Yeah, I mean, right now, like any of us could go like each other's house and be like, "Oh fuck, I remember that game, remember this game," and all this other shit. But that's not gonna happen. Maybe like 5, 6, maybe 10 more years from now, and it's gone.
As dorky as it sounds, a lot of the games I keep, because eventually when I choose to have children, I want to play these games with them and have them experience the joy that I had as a little kid. There's nothing better than playing Mario Brothers the first time when you're a kid and just being like blown away. But now that kids are growing up with the 360 stuff, it's hard for them to go back to even appreciate it. But if you start young, I want to start my kid with an NES. Be like, this is the NES. You can play any of these games. I don't care what mom says. You play with these.
And I don't know, there was something,
Agreed.
just
I like that.
using your imagination. Like there's less there, but you just had more fun visually. It just seemed like more. This is the old man get off my lawn talk.
Yeah.
But
No, this actually just right now on Wii U, people can buy Super Metroid for 30 cents.
30
I
cents?
believe 30 cents Super Metroid.
it's like the 30-year anniversary.
This is what you were
promo,
talking
so-
about before. This kind of popped in my head. Have you guys been reading up on people have been having, like the kids are having trouble getting through Super Metroid right now?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Super Metroid and even Super Mario.
Have you seen the
Yeah, I
videos of dads are putting up of their kid being like, what? What's going on?
Exactly. They're all,
great.
why,
I haven't seen
why,
videos. I gotta
why
check
can't
this
Samus?
out.
It's great.
Oh, it's
God.
hilarious. They're like, why can't Samus crawl? Like, you fucking. Oh. But I mean, it's just funny because you think back, like, how the hell did we figure this out?
Yeah,
It's
they don't
like,
understand.
There was like a certain creativity working with the restrictions and limitations of the NES.
Well, and you didn't know something ahead of it, and that's going to be
No.
the cool thing about your idea is start a kid when he doesn't know what the PS6 looks like.
Yeah.
All he knows is, I'm going to play this game, and then he'll have an appreciation
Yep.
for it, and you can give him that stuff, and he can like the Super Nintendo
And
and
honestly-
the Genesis,
Yeah.
but still like the current stuff, and then just like it as a whole.
I think also be smarter too, because those games you had to think to
That'll
figure
be my
the shit
excuse.
out.
Like, no, I'm making him smarter, honey.
Well, you are in a weird
Really?
way.
I don't know.
This,
But come on.
all this way, the tutorials are like, here, do this. It's like all in your face on how to do it.
The reason is because now kids are pussyfooted around with
Yeah.
tutorials.
They're all-
You were
yeah,
told
exactly.
the entire time. This
We're
is
going
ha-
full-blown
you're
old
gonna-
man cast
You're gonna
right
hit this.
We are.
You're gonna hit this button to duck. Really? I couldn't hit a button to figure it out. No, we have to tell you what to do. So when you're playing Metroid, you're gonna be like, "Oh, I'm supposed to go left first? No, that doesn't
Yes.
make sense. How can I go left? This is an old game. You go right."
Also, music nowadays is just noise.
And rap music? Who thought that was a good idea?
Yeah, pull up your pants, Jay-Z.
dance
Oh my
games.
god.
But it's true because like I know when I was a kid, I used to play a game and go, I'm gonna play. Oh, I died immediately. Oh, better try again. Oh, I died. I even with me, I would not have the patience to play Ghouls and Ghosts right now. I know I wouldn't. I would not have the patience to go, I'm supposed to die on like the 5th level so that I can start at the beginning and get all the way there before I die even once because I've learned all the timings and the restrictive jumps and that these enemies are spawning to fuck me on purpose. Like I couldn't do that nowadays, even just as a person who's gotten used to the hand holding and stuff. Like it's
It is.
weird. Even someone who didn't used to be used to it is now kind of slowly
Wait,
moving towards
it's kind of weird. So that kind of goes to like Let's see. Rayman, like the latest one that just came
Ooh,
out.
Legend was so good.
How fucking
I
awesome
love
was it,
that
right?
game.
It was good, right? And like
Fabulous.
the kids now, they're like,
Oh, they probably thought it was hard as
exactly,
fuck.
yeah, exactly. And
And I'm like, have you played Donkey Kong Country?
well,
bitch?
I was just saying, it's like our generation, we had the mentality like, just fucking keep going. We gotta get this. You gotta memorize this and jump here and jump there. A split second before this happens, blah blah. So I mean, I think that's why these cool like platformers that we all love and I think are fucking badass. Like, we don't sell as well right now because this generation, they're like. You said they're like
Yeah.
stupid and they can't figure it out.
Also, when we
no
were-
offense, people. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
yeah, no offense.
When we were
You
kids,
kids are dumb.
Come on.
when we were kids, when we got a game, that wasn't a huge investment to us.
Oh,
And even if
yeah.
it was a terrible game,
Yeah.
you played that until you liked it.
Exactly.
You just spent money on it.
I can't even
No,
imagine
no,
the bad
your
games
mom
I
spent
played.
money on it.
I'm pretty sure.
Your mom's whoever spent money on it, and you cannot be like, Mom, this is a terrible
Yeah.
game. Could you please take this back? Because she's gonna be like, Fuck
Yeah.
no, I hate your face. And you
Dude,
can't
it's
handle
like,
it.
no, I'm getting the belt. You fucking
So-
prick.
And that's why we got so good at those classic games because
Yes.
you had to stick with it, and you had to. And by the end, you felt 100 times better because you were able to. You actually accomplished something. Whether you tell someone,
Did you really,
I
though?
beat
Did you really?
Earthbound, something most people will never do, and you're like. That really doesn't mean anything. No, in reality, it does. I went on this adventure. I did this. I did something you will never do.
No.
It's kind of
Or just-
amazing.
It's very amazing.
Pre-internet, pre-magazine, pre-information, just like
yeah,
the discovery,
rumors and
just
stuff.
like the rumors.
Oh my
So
god,
good.
I missed that so
Scanning,
much.
you know,
That's
just-
what made
I think
Mortal
we should do
Kombat
that
so
for
good.
later.
Yeah, this could be another.
Oh, yeah, let's
hold
just
on.
hold off on that.
Is this news? Is this new?
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
we're going to
news.
news. Let's go back to
Awesome
news.
topics for sure.
All right, yeah.
Slight tangent.
Hey, it counts.
Game related.
Here's the news. Kids don't know how to do stuff anymore.
Kids
Yeah.
are dumb, we're old. Fuck them.
Kids are
Extra,
dumb,
extra.
we are old. That should be the new
That's-
section.
that's
New
enough.
segment.
Perfect.
Speaking of cranky old men, Electronic Arts developer recently went on a Twitter tirade. Did you guys hear anything about this?
I heard about that, actually.
Senior software engineer of EA Canada. What's the name here? Senior software engineer at EA Canada, for lack of better words.
Okay.
Wii U is crap. Less powerful than the 360. Poor online store. Weird tablet. Nintendo are walking dead at this point. And officially, from Jeff Brown, spokesman of EA, no development for Wii U. EA is
Yeah,
not
there's,
making
there's not
no
a
games.
single game in development.
This
right
is
now.
not.
Remember that big development,
Yeah.
that
This is
strategic
not-
partnership they had?
Yeah, this
Remember
is
that
not
thing?
Dreamcast not making sports games. This
Yeah.
is no EA games for Wii U. Huge
Well, I mean,
news.
Are we surprised, really?
Well, I mean, what he said was...
Yeah, I am.
He's honest.
I know,
the guy's
exactly.
Honest.
I'm surprised.
I know, but what he was saying was, obviously probably true, but
EA,
you
though?
don't do
It
that.
is weird. EA loves
EA?
that. They want their games on
He-
every. That's one of the reasons why I don't believe the
But
Respawn
he-
rumor about their game being exclusive, because they want their games everywhere.
Yeah.
But I mean, that must mean that the Wii U, they really, really see it as as pointless.
It's
If
dying.
they're willing
Yeah.
to
Well,
not
it-
even throw crap at it that they don't
No
put any effort
licensing.
into just for the
Well,
extra
you
money.
can only make so much money off of 36 people, right?
Yeah, that's true. Have you seen the player counts for Call of Duty? Like the videos. There's literally like less than 1,000 people playing Call of
That's
Duty
sad.
on Wii U.
My
But I bet the
God.
guy who's number one feels really good about it. He's like, I'm
Yeah.
number one.
He's
guys."
like,
Yeah,
Mom,
on
get in
Wii
here."
U, though.
Because I mean, Wii U is supposed to have like the current generation, like the best games of. Like they would come out for 360, they
Yeah,
come out for
wasn't that
PS3,
supposed to be the
and
thing?
they would like the
You were
Arkham
expected to
Asylum.
see a ton of
yeah.
that is
catalog and
huge frame
that-
rate issues. Like, it's broken. Those games are not. They're
Why?
not good.
It's such. I don't know. Because even like
But
what
they also saying the graphics still aren't even as good as PS3 or
Yeah.
Xbox 360. Like
No.
they're still like the lines are still a little jagged. It's just
Yeah.
not
is this
as powerful still.
just arrogance from Nintendo? Because typically they toot their own horn. They make their own cartridges. They make their own proprietary stuff. Eat it up. Live with it.
Nintendo
Seems like-
will make good games for their system
Yeah,
no
they
matter
will.
what. It does not make a difference. They can have a terrible system. You're going to have games where you're going to be like, wow, I have no idea how they did it, but they made something amazing.
That's true.
You're gonna
As
see
for
an
everybody else, it's going to be
It's-
awful.
yeah.
You're gonna see an
That's-
HD Mario and an HD Zelda, and you're gonna fucking lose your mind
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
how nice it looks. How you look at stuff on the game, the Wii or the GameCube. You look at characters in Brawl, like up close. Like they figured out how to use that system and make shit look nice. Imagine what an HD system's gonna look like,
Yeah.
and that's when you'll be okay with it. But that's the same story.
Very
like if
far.
you're surprised by this on a Nintendo platform, like dude, what hole did you just like crawl out
Yeah.
of? Because this is what happens
But
every
I mean,
time.
EA is
Not
fucking
to this
huge.
extent,
EA is
but at the
fucking
same time, it's the same old story.
I have a terrible habit with Nintendo systems that the main games that I buy are Nintendo-made games. I buy maybe 4 or 5 out of the lifespan that are not made by Nintendo because there's so many terrible games.
Terrible habit? I say you're smart, sir. I did the same thing.
I just think it's terrible because I love Nintendo and I would love to support it more,
'Cause-
but it's too bad nobody
Yeah.
else is doing
But I mean, there's a tangible difference in quality. I mean, just from like 3DS alone. I mean, I've very fewly seen a good third-party 3DS game. Mostly it's all first-party.
Yeah.
Aside from like downloadable shop games, I mean, there's no like Street Fighter 4 was good, but it felt like kind of dead. Like the characters in the background, there's not much animation.
You don't want to play that on.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
seems
I got it because
very
I'm a
launchy.
huge
I needed
fighting game
something
fan.
to play.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Plus, you could take the Evo into the Street Pass.
like I tried Tekken just to get it because it was cheap, but fuck, it was terrible. 3DS.
Yeah, it was.
Horrible. But I mean,
It's one of those things where as long as it lasts a couple years, if I get enough good first-party games, it sounds dumb, but it pays for itself.
there's some good fucking Mario and Luigi RPGs. We're talking like new Zelda, new 3D Mario.
Well, and it's still backwards compatible with the original DS, and I'll die saying that was one of my favorite systems.
Oh.
The original DS was
Yeah.
was wonderful, and there's still plenty of good games you can go back and play there.
So, welcome back to Dark Side of Nintendo News.
We're going back.
Oh shit, we are back on goddamn Nintendo again.
Again.
And we're
Again.
going to end on Nintendo too. The last story.
God damn it.
Hilarious.
Last story of the night. Nintendo to profit from user videos posted on YouTube. According
Yeah,
to
I
BBC
saw-
News. Did you guys see this?
One of the guys that I watch a lot of StarCraft replays for, his name's Husky. He was talking about how because he's friends with a lot of people that do stuff on
Yeah.
on the
For-
internet, on YouTube, and it's one of those things where now Nintendo is going to start like not letting YouTube partners do their video games with Let's Plays and stuff.
Yeah, so basically like a Let's Play video.
Lame.
People play through the game, they narrate it. And it's kind of like a very original video. Typically there's like, whoever makes them, there's not a lot of personality. Nintendo's leeching on and making money from them.
I can see both sides of the argument. Nintendo is seeing and I won't act like I haven't used this to my advantage. I'm a person who puts videos online for my podcast. I'm a person that's posted video game footage online. It's unfair that Let's Plays count as commentaries and work under commentary law, where you can essentially, if you're talking over a video game you're playing, you have free reign to put it anywhere you want. That seems like it's something that should be adjusted because we're in the future now and video games are going to be there. So I can see that side of the argument, them going, well, that's not fair, and that's as someone who's done it. But at the same time, what they're doing and the way they're handling it, they sound like old, out-of-touch Japanese people that are like, oh, we want money. We don't understand the internet. Like, it's true. Like,
And Nintendo does not understand
the internet is fast as hell over there, but it's different over there than it is here. It really is. The way the internet works is why Xbox Live.
Just the density of the population.
The Xbox is popular over here because we can use Xbox Live. Over there, if you're online, you're playing a handheld system or a PC. They don't like having their consoles online very often. It's just not a thing that that culture uses. It's just the weird way, and the way they're handling this YouTube thing is like they just heard about. Wait, what's YouTube? And that they're handling the situation like they're completely out of touch. And so I can see both sides of it. I know why they want the money, and it's not fair that the commentary like fair rights works that way. It's stupid, but I mean, they're not handling it.
Because like Machinima doesn't seem too far away from
Yeah.
that.
Like, there's really great stuff on that. And
Is there? Like I haven't even.
There's some really great stuff. There's some really clever stuff that people use pixel art.
Yeah.
Like classic pixel art. Are they going to have to worry about that? Like people who use Nintendo pixel art?
Yeah.
I hope not, because some of that stuff is hilarious.
It is.
I mean,
So-
once
Well,
you're not-
fan stuff gets shut down all the time. I guess it just depends on who's like
guess-
the Chrono Trigger remake got shut down back in the day,
And that looked
was
really good.
And that was a long time before they
Yeah.
even noticed it. So it's one of those weird things where if it, I doubt that smaller stuff will get shut down because it took Nintendo 8 years to notice YouTube.
Yeah,
So if
it's
they've just now noticed YouTube, there's no way they're noticing Joe Pixel Comic.
They just have all this free time because there's no games now. So they're just like,
Yeah.
let's troll the internet and see what trouble we can get into, guys.
When
What
some
do you
games
mean
come
they're
out, we'll
using
be
our
fine.
videos?
yeah,
Do you know this guy talking? No, we don't know. We should sue him.
yeah.
Get him on the horn.
Gone. Dead.
Call Reggie.
Because we were maybe talking about doing some kind of like maybe some video stuff in the future for Dark Side of the Kingdom, possibly. Nintendo
we
might
should.
leech onto us.
Yep.
But we'll see.
Hey, get you some
We
rub.
just change his name. No
Do
one's going to know the difference.
There you go.
Who's
warp the
this
pixels.
plumber character? Tom. It's Tom.
Yeah, Tom the plumber.
He's not a plumber, he's a carpenter. We wanted to make sure nobody knew.
And
The regular
I got
Tom
it.
Brothers. Awesome.
He throws snowballs. That's what he throws.
They're just yellow snowballs.
He
Yellow
throws,
snowballs.
he throws snowballs that are on fire. Though.
And if they're green, you might want
can't
to stay away
prove
from
they're
them.
Yeah.
The green ones may not become. Stay away.
God damn.
He used the swimming pool power up. Everyone's grossed out.
Yes, we're in the final minutes of Dark Side of the Kingdom. This is where we gross everybody out. Final minutes, news. I'm done for news. Anybody, any soapbox, anything grinding your guys' gears, agendas?
Anything at all. No?
Okay.
Pretty indifferent.
This is a fun thing.
Okay.
Okay, say
It better be.
it's fun.
I mean,
it's
it
super
fucking
fun.
better
Who's
be.
excited?
I'm
I'm
excited.
excited. This guy right here. Okay.
He's pointing to
So
himself.
this is just a question, just so people
Okay.
can get a better understanding of where you're coming from
Not
and who
having
you are in terms of video games.
Mm-hmm.
You're on a deserted island. You have a power source. You can take one video game system and one game. There's no internet. What do you take and why?
Who's first? Dean, you're first.
A Super
go-
Nintendo, but a PlayStation copy of Metal Gear.
Yeah.
God damn it!
God damn.
I'll go first because I
chose too quick. I chose
I know
too
what I
quick.
want.
All right, you go
okay,
first.
I'm on a desert island. I take a classic NES and Mario Brothers 3. And the reason I do, I've never been super great at that game. And now that I have all this time, I'd want to be just
You come
A
back, they
master.
rescue you, and you're doing speed run videos.
I am a master. I want to be able to do that. Like that's a game.
You're
that
doing the
you
don't
can-
touch the ground
Yeah.
on the.
You can tell you can. That's a game that when you're playing and you can obviously how well you're progressing, like in terms of your ability, easily just by how fast you're doing it and how proficient you are. And I would love to get super great at that game because it's it's a great game. It's timeless. I can play it right now and not be bored, and
That's
it's
true.
long and it's still difficult. It holds up difficulty.
Oh, yeah.
So
Now you can play those levels you normally skip with
Yeah,
the whistle, and
yeah.
you go, well, I've never even played these. So, Big
Yeah.
World? What the fuck's Big World?
there's
Well,
there's a
everyone
sand.
went to Big World.
It's the best world. Of
World
course
is
you went to
fucking
Big
awesome.
World.
That's true.
Because the
How
first time you
hard-
experience
yeah.
that, you're like,
Yeah, exactly.
and then when you find Karibo's shoe and you're like, I can get in a shoe. I'm doing this right now.
You think the Tanuki suit's normal, and you're like, you push select, you're like, oh, I'm a statue now.
What does
This
it
has
do?
no practical
Hammer suit.
use.
Hammer suit.
Hammer Brothers, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's the big.
So that's what I would take because you could get
you
so
make
good
a
at
good
it.
argument
You
for
have a
that
lot of
game.
free time and you get so good at it.
That's a good choice, sir.
No internet, you said?
No internet, so you
Okay.
can't be like,
I was just-
I'm gonna take
gonna play
Xbox and
League
Call
of
of Duty.
Legends.
What are you gonna do? Okay, you're gonna beat it in 2 hours. Then what are you gonna do? I'll beat it again hard.
Collect everything, man. Rich story.
I'm gonna
player.
collect everything. I got all the bullets. Okay.
I'm going to play League of Legends, get really good at playing Master Yi. Oh, that's a good...
It's a good question, man. It's a good
I
question.
want to say it would be a Super Nintendo, and it would probably be an RPG, because I know I could play those over and over, and they're long. It would probably come down to either...
Chrono Trigger.
I've almost beaten that too many times.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was just
Final
the obvious
Fantasy 3/6,
Fun game.
Lufia 2, or RoboTrek. I don't know which one I'd play. Probably... Fuck. Come back to me.
You're cheating, man. It's cheating. You can't shoot.
You
the
start.
wide
Yeah,
net.
you can't
you're
just
starting.
start and then.
Very wide net. 4
fuck.
great games. Back
Super,
away.
Super Nintendo and Lufia 2. God damn it. No, I'm
gotta live
That's
with
the
it.
best
You gotta live with it.
response you could get.
I'm-
Make a decision and regret it instantly.
Wait, are we on the same island?
No, we're separate.
God, can I see you?
We can see each other.
So I can watch you play
we
if
can't
I
swim
get
over
stuck?
because there's sharks everywhere.
Okay, but I can. So if I get stuck at like the clock puzzle in that first tower and I forget what I'm supposed to do, with
Message in a
skeletons,
bottle.
I can
This
go.
isn't about.
Oh, what are you playing again?
I'm at World 3-3.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
I've been jumping. It's going good.
Use the SP. You can just fly to the end. This is an annoying level. All right, I'm down. I'll take Lufia with the Super Nintendo. Lufia 2, Super Nintendo.
Nice. You up, Dean, or you want me to go?
Go for it. Go for
All
it.
right. I'm gonna go with the current gen. I think. Just fuck it. Why not? I'm gonna go with Fallout 3.
Replay value. Lots
Yes.
of time. Interesting.
I can either be evil one time and
Yeah.
neutral.
You
I
want to
can
play it
be
on
good.
PlayStation? Or Xbox?
Oh
or
yeah,
Works?
yeah. Because you can't get
probably
the
want it on
updates because you
Xbox.
don't
You
have
know,
the internet.
it doesn't
They can't
fuck-
patch your shitty
And you don't
game.
get any of the downloads.
I know.
like
I
the
know. Oh,
expansions.
come on. Oh, what's the greatest hits version? Come on.
Okay, you got the Game of the
I
Year
mean,
edition.
yeah, Gary, that's what I meant. Game of Year edition.
But do you want it on PlayStation or Xbox?
Honestly, it doesn't matter. It's a Bethesda game. There's
Oh,
gonna
it
be
makes a
bugs all
huge
in the
difference.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
It
It's
doesn't
gonna be a
matter.
goddamn mess.
It doesn't matter. It's gonna be chaos. So I'm gonna stick with my guns, PS3 style.
Okay.
So I will stick with Fallout 3 because it's obvious. If
Not
you
a bad
guys,
choice.
yeah, if you guys have played it, you know why. You can go on for. I've never beaten the game yet. I'm still fucking just running around finding stories and getting good adventures. So I'll stick with the Fallout 3.
Okay.
Dean
choice.
with the NBA.
Good choice.
Oh, dude, I was thinking that same thing.
I know. It's just like
I might get out of my head.
But you can't get updated rosters.
Fuck this, man. There's a lot of.
I'll take
discuss.
Jordan versus Bird.
that game was hilarious.
NBA 2K13. My career. Fantastic RPG. I want to say my nostalgic go-to.
Doesn't have to be nostalgia.
yeah,
just
just-
But no,
entertainment.
You say, because I mean, if you're gonna be stuck on an island,
You're gonna be stuck.
You're gonna want to go back to your childhood. You're gonna want to pull on those same feelings, those emotional shoestrings, tugging on those a little bit. For me, my first game.
You don't have to.
Well, I have Fallout. I mean,
If you're
Fallout.
gonna the grim existence of being stuck on an island for the rest of your life alone, get some happiness in there with each other.
Yeah, but if you go back to childhood, sometimes you're like, oh, I had so much fun. Sorry, but you're like, I had so much fun playing this as a kid. And you're like, oh my god, this game fucking sucks. You're like, I can't play this.
At
now.
one point in
Shit.
time, I liked R.A.G.E on the PS1. Like, I don't know what the fuck was I.
I don't know what that is. Is
Was
that
I
like-
drunk?
You never play,
Is that
I
the
have it.
smoke
Actually.
Does that
horrible
fly?
I have
Final
it.
Fantasy party game / fighting game on the PS1.
I've never heard of this.
It was
Really?
an actual arcade game.
It
came out
was
as an arcade.
so bad.
You can be Cloud
There's,
fighting
like,
each other.
there's a fighting game part, and then there's this weird like mini games like here and
It's horrible.
Bad.
Doesn't sound
It's
good at
real
all.
bad.
It's not.
I was
It's
like-
not fun at all. But
But it was interesting. That was golden era of Square PS1 games.
Yeah. It was longer than the bouncer.
Interesting.
I like the bouncer.
I liked it for the hour I played it, and then I beat it.
I know, but I still like that game.
I beat it with 2 characters in like an hour and 12 minutes. I was like,
goddamn.
I'm going to tell them my disc is
we're stepping
broken.
all over.
Yeah, back to
Dean.
Yeah.
Dean, I'm sorry.
He's
Dean,
important.
I'm giving him
Come
time.
on,
I'm
come on.
helping him out.
I'm
Dean,
gonna
I'm
say
sorry.
my-
Sports game.
My
What is
emotional. Fucking God.
Let
Jesus
him
Christ.
go.
Okay,
I will say I do have final edit, so
Stop.
let's just
He
keep
has-
it on, bro.
he
I
needs
know.
time.
I know. I'm just kidding.
He
Go ahead.
needs time to pick what year for the NBA game.
It's very decisive. The rosters are important. I mean, you don't want to go.
Do you want
year
Shaq on the
10.
Lakers or Shaq on the Magic?
Because there's
Fuck
no
that.
Derrick
Dream
Rose this
team,
year,
baby.
right?
Dream team.
See, now, I know you're trying to be snarky, but if you go with NBA 2K13, they have the legacy. You can.
Oh, really?
You don't have to. They have
I didn't know
old,
that.
old teams, and you can play the '92 Dream Team. So check it
I
out.
remember
Can you
that.
play the
That's
95
when we
Jazz?
had heroes in the Olympics.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys
Malone,
remember that.
Stockton,
Yes,
and
you can.
Hornacek all together.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, sorry. Go ahead now. Go ahead.
I guess stepping all over my toes here, man.
And your face. No, apparently.
Your beautiful face, dude. Your beautiful, newly shaved face.
I didn't notice. That's nice. You got an eraser.
Thanks, Percy. You didn't
Yeah,
show for us, man. I'm trying- Mike's been making me feel good the whole show, man.
Oh, sorry.
It took you how long? 2.5 hours to fucking know.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Link to the Past was my go-to. SNES. It was my first, Zelda love that game. When I first played it for the first year or two, I didn't even realize that there was a second, world. So it was like I thought,
Dude, I ran into that same
and it was
thing.
just like the realization and just like the wow factor of fuck. There's a whole nother game, and then just the amount of game there, fun, great puzzle design, fun dungeons, kind of fun. Honestly, I was debating between like a Zelda type game or a Mario, just because Mario, you want to go for the repetitive.
Mario World would be a
instant-
good choice.
Yeah.
You
You can replay
Mario
the whole game
World,
twice.
Mario 3 is a good choice too. So just getting those quick fix gaming spurts. But I don't know. I love Link to the Past, and
Nice choice.
I legitimately will give some consideration to NBA 2K13, one of the best RPG experiences last generation.
And a
Dean
proud
Pizzorato.
sponsor of
Here's the big advantage of us three.
Yes.
When we finally get fed up with this fucking island, we have corded controllers and we can kill ourselves.
Yes.
You're gonna be sitting there. Yeah, you're gonna have to die a slow Bluetooth radiation-related death.
Yeah.
That's right.
And your system will probably die before any of that happens.
I can just eat the controller and choke on it.
And we can see each other, so you're gonna watch us, and it's gonna bum you out. You're gonna be like, I'm using
Desert
the,
Island Gaming.
I'm so
I
mad
like
I'm gonna
it.
use the ugly shotgun. It's a bad weapon.
If you had to pick a game to let the person to the right to you, the person to your right, you had to give them a game to play for the rest of your life. What game would you give?
I had to make them play a game.
Oh,
No.
this
Can I
is
can I be a
already
can I be a
horrible.
giant dickhead?
Yeah, that's kind of fun, right?
I
Okay.
guess
I don't
if
know.
you want to be a dickhead.
What's your
yeah.
go-to dickhead game?
I
It's tough.
That's a
There's
horrible.
so many.
It's a bad question.
All right, if you want to be a dick, or if you want to be here, play this game because it's fucking awesome.
I'm gonna make you play Santa Claus Saves the World for the PlayStation 1.
Oof.
It is. No one's ever
Wait,
heard
wait.
of it, and it's one of the worst games I've
Which
ever.
version of Santa Claus? Is it the Coca-Cola version of Santa Claus?
No, it's the weird, poorly made Flash game, but on PlayStation version of Santa Claus. It has 3 animations. It's.
And this is a
This is
retail
very.
game.
This is very active.
Oh yeah, it was a retail game. It was awful.
You're horrible.
It's a
You
Flash
should
game?
you should YouTube it.
Did it-
You'll laugh yourself silly.
Did
at
it
how bad
look
this game
good
is.
at all?
Ugh, no.
All
You
right.
should. In fact, everybody please go look up Santa Claus Saves the World.
Okay.
It is- I'm gonna make you play that.
Sounds like
Eh.
shovelware. Yeah.
That's nice of you.
If I was going to give it to someone who I wanted them to have a good time, I would give them
Thank you.
for Sega Genesis Toe Jam and Earl.
1 or 2.
The first one.
Alright.
And that's because you have a random world selection, so you can constantly play it over and over, and it's random every time.
Smart.
Did you
true.
play Toe Jam and Earl?
No, I haven't.
You were missing
You're a
out
good
on
dude. Paying
Yeah.
it forward.
Xbox.
I'm sitting here like and you're like,
fuck
what should I
me.
do to help my friend?
Was the Xbox Toe Jam and Earl revamp? Is that anything?
That's based on the
was
property, but it
disgusting.
is not good.
Okay.
Oh, how the original works is it's a 3/4 view, you're two aliens, Toe Jim and Earl, and you have your ship crash lands on Earth, I'm assuming, and it breaks, and you have to collect all the pieces of the ship, and that's all you have to do is collect the ship. But you also get presents, and the presents are random until you open them, and once you open them, you get all kinds of fun stuff like rocket skates, or super high tops, or Icarus wings, and they give you all these like bonuses, and it's really entertaining. It's 2 players at once, which you're not going to do on your island, but whatever. Your Wilson maybe can play with it. I don't know. But it holds
We're still
up.
on island? I thought we were just
No, this is on an island still.
Oh, okay.
Because I would walk away if you gave me that, and if I wasn't on an island.
Well,
I'll try and think of a good game.
Well, Dean, are we on island or are we just giving games out for people to play?
Island.
Okay.
I'm gonna think of
Why
a
not?
gem that I'd give you, just something that you probably haven't played that I
You're
like.
up for prayer.
Ooh, I know. Can I go back? I'm not gonna give him Santa Claus Days.
did.
I'm gonna give you the
Thank you.
Fireman for SNES. No one's ever played this game but me, but I love it. It's a top-down 2D fireman game, but it's Zelda.
Sounds cool.
I don't know how else to describe it. You could probably YouTube a video of it. Imagine Zombies Ate My Neighbors mixed with Zelda, but you're a fireman.
That sounds awesome.
It's a pretty great game that I only played it because my rental place happened to have it, and it didn't do very well. It got a sequel in Europe, but not in America, so I've never gotten to play it. But it is a solid-ass game. Do you condone ROMs?
If the system's dead enough and old enough,
I feel like
maybe.
the NES is old enough. If you're a person that wants to play ROMs and you've just played the same couple of games over and over, you should check out The Fireman. It's a dumb name, but it's a really charming, really cool game. I will give you The Fireman for SNES.
Often overlooked DS game, just kind of like a random, fun, charming little title. Music game. Elite Beat Agents.
Oh, great.
Owenden.
Interesting. A lot of people don't play it. Japanese original Owenden.
Yeah.
I actually went back and imported one of the only games I ever imported.
It's
was
good
Owenden.
both ways.
The menu system holds up, and I would argue a little bit better than the
I think
Japanese
the
version.
music is a
Yeah.
lot more involved.
Yeah.
It makes more sense for what you're doing.
But just awesome music game, very original, just kind of like tap heavy. It's kind of hard to describe, but rock band, drum-esque kind of thing going on with moving things. Very fun, very original title.
Punishing. It doesn't let
Punishing.
you can only
Yeah.
fuck up a couple times or you lose.
A lot of replayability, a lot of fun. Owenden, either way.
Nice.
There you go, sir.
Does it have to be console game or can we go arcade style?
Anything.
Does it matter?
Board game. You can do
Board game?
I wouldn't mind having a cab or a board game.
What you got, bro?
You risk. I'd probably just choose a game I remember when I was a kid, just because I loved the hell out of it. A game called Brave Fencer Musashi.
Nice.
'Cause-
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
on board with that. The
Yeah.
sequels all suck, but the
Yeah,
original
do
is
not,
great.
yeah, don't play the fucking sequels, but the original was
Love the
fucking
original.
awesome.
What's it called?
Brave Fencer Musashi.
It was
And what system was it?
PS1.
PlayStation 1. It was
An
like
old
a
action RPG.
Square Enix Zelda initiative kind of thing. It's like a
Pe-
third-person
people
action
people bought the
RPG.
game so they could play Final Fantasy
Yeah.
8.
8.
So, but I mean, the game was really fun. It was an action RPG, and it's you're just a little character named Musashi. You're like a little kid, but you were a god in another world, and they summoned you into their world to help save a kingdom. And
Little chibi-looking samurai dude.
it's a really cute game, and it's really fun. There's actually a lot of replayability too. So there's a lot of things to collect and stuff like that too. And it's a really fun game. My God, it's great.
There you go.
So there you
I
go.
can
That's your
agree on
game.
that.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Recommendations. We got Desert Island games. We got Fuck You
Fightful
games.
games.
Recommendations. We talked about Nintendo a lot. Xbox a little.
That is so
It's
weird that
more-
we kept
more-
going
more
back
than
to
we
Nintendo.
should have.
Maybe it was kind of like a what was the word? It was like a service. We're sending the Wii U off into the distance. It was a ceremony.
I could be
Dead
good.
before its time, possibly.
sadly.
Amazing show. 2.5 hours, gentlemen. I feel
Had a
good.
blast. I had a complete
Awesome.
blast.
Yeah,
It was
thanks
great.
again. This is awesome.
Thank you for coming on. Whoring segment, guys. Talk a little bit about projects, things. I know.
I do a podcast every
Yes.
Friday, 7 to 10 Pacific Standard Time. It's called Jim and Them. It is a comedy / pop culture podcast. We also have a YouTube channel. We do lots of sketches. I am involved in that. We just had our 6-year anniversary and our 300th episode on the exact same day.
Congratulations, sir.
Did a
Nice.
week of shows
Yeah.
to make sure that it landed on the exact same day, but
There you
we've
go.
been doing it for a while.
Nice.
Good plan.
And
Yeah,
if you
it's-
even remotely found me amusing, you'd probably like the show.
I will say, on the week of shows, I kind of geeked out a little bit. Name drop Dice Man. They got the Dice Man cometh.
We got Andrew Dice Clay to call into the show and give us an interview, which
he
is pretty
played-
cool.
Well, cool.
He played
Yeah,
ball.
he was a
Kinda
cool
man.
dude.
Good shit.
Even if you're not a fan of his comedy, he was just a nice guy. It was really.
I heard he was a really nice guy, actually.
Yeah.
Anyway, where can people find you?
You can follow me on Twitter at VanSavesLives. My name is Mike Steele. Feel free to add me on Facebook. I'll probably assume you're a Jim and Them listener and add you. Or you can go to jimandthem.com if you want to check out the podcast.
Nice.
Awesome. Ian?
I'm on Twitter as a little too Raph. I don't post.
That's fucking awesome.
So
It's more of like a
that handles off.
you're not gonna see a lot from me. I just follow people.
less is more though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also on Facebook, Ian H. Mars. I probably won't. If you request a friendship, I'm probably not going to say yes. Not because I don't like you, just because if I don't know you, I don't. But you can check out my
Maybe
stuff.
drop a line about you heard him on the podcast.
Oh,
might
if you say
ask.
you heard me on the podcast, then yeah, I could totally say you're my friend.
There you
There you
go.
go, right?
There you go.
Good thinking, Dean.
I got your back, man. I got your back.
Anything else? Do you draw or anything? Any artwork?
Yeah, you can check out my website, ianhmars.com.
There you go.
PR. Person on the PR tip. I like it.
I'm just gonna help a brother out. That's all. So, and Dean, where can people find
Yes,
you?
at Dean Pizzo on Twitter, on Facebook as well. Dean Pizzorato. Long name, you'll find it. Dark Side of the Kingdom. We are a podcast. We are at thedrainage.net, pop culture
Oh,
website.
I heard a lot. I'm always hearing people talk about those guys.
They talk about
Transcending.
Nintendo a lot.
Yeah.
I
It's
guess.
out, you know what's weird for a website?
No, just our show then.
For a website, I hear more about the drainage offline than I do online.
Yeah.
People just start talking about it. It's just
Walking down the street and
Uncanny.
you're like, I don't know about
Uncanny.
you guys, but I'm always like listening to other people's conversations.
Yeah,
And
it's-
all drainage. Getting gas drainage. Getting food drainage.
yeah. So
Drainage of my soul.
so we don't have to tell you because you know of the drainage.
There you go.
We are there.
All right. And I'm Percy. You
Yes.
can find me at Twitter, The One Pariah, and any other social media place, same name, The One Pariah.
Rocking. Good stuff,
And
man.
yes.
Good show, gentlemen. Thank you guys for tuning in. And for Dark Side of the Kingdom, catch you guys next week.
Peace.
See ya.
Space Jam,
Yeah.
but it takes place in the same world. It's like
So,
it's
cartoon
Final
people-
Fantasy 12 and Final Fantasy Tactics. It's
Yeah.
the same world.
So,
Yeah.
Michael Jordan does his ultimate dunk in New York.
Talking to the mic.
Michael Jordan does
Thank
his
you.
ultimate dunk in New York City.
Yeah.
And when he slams dunk, he destroys the world. And he's the emperor of the world now. So Charles Barkley's son gets diabetes. And he has to find Wilter Brimley to cure his son of diabetes. It is so ridiculous and so funny.
Now-
It's funny, but it's also fun too.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's free game. You can download it.
SNES style RPG. Licensing. How do they make the sequel?
I don't know how they're doing it.
How
I have no idea. They must have gotten somebody's blessing, but I don't know.
You got to get the licensing on that.
And they're doing all the art is just remade art from other games. Like
Whoa.
your sprite is Barkley from NBA Jam.
If it's
Nice.
free, do they have to get
No.
any?
I don't think. Yeah.
So
if-
maybe
if-
since
if-
they
if-
kickstarted it, Kickstarters are donations that can be used on anything.
Loopholes.
If they use it on a game they're making but they're not selling, as long as they're not using anybody's assets from an existing game, I think that might be the loophole, and they just release it for free.
I
Because
think-
the first one was for free too. They just want to make the game, so maybe that's good enough for
This
them.
one's being backed by Microsoft, right? So they're,
Oh,
'cause
how the fuck are they going to do that?
they're going to redraw all the assets and actually release it full. Because apparently, I haven't
It's-
finished it, but apparently the writing is so good they were just so impressed.
Wow.
It's like
Cool.
have you guys played Super Mario Crossover yet?
Yeah.
It's just Super Mario, but you can play as like Simon Belmont or
Yeah,
Ryan
I've seen those.
or-
But
seen
they,
videos of
they
it, yeah.
function with weird,
Yeah.
interesting
Oh, it's so
balances.
good.
That's
You have like
super cool.
Samus too and all
Yeah.
that sort of shit.
I think I played like an early version where they only had like a couple characters.
Yeah,
Is
it's
that,
on Newgrounds.
is that fleshed out now?
Like the third version came out now.
It's really legit now.
Right, cool. And 3.
2.
one.
And we are back. We are having a good time. Obviously, everybody's laughing. We are back.
Welcome back.
Hour 2. Longest show, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking records.